my underwear is still wet right now. Like, my underwear is wet right now from this morning.
Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this?
It's another edition of KFC Radio on the Barstool Sports Network. Me and Feits were just getting settled, getting ready to do the episode. Nick was like, hang on, I'll be right back. I gotta print some shit out. And we just had like a deep convo about porn.
Yeah.
About our porn habits, who we like, what we're watching. Oh, I used to watch this, but I'm off of that one now. You know who I've really been watching a lot? I mean, it was like guys talking sports, but porn.
It was guys being dudes to a toxic level.
Way too much. It's like, it's like, you know, it really was like sports. Like, hey, did you see the performance he put on last night? Yeah, 3 home runs. Can you believe it? I was like, you see your boyfriend's cock? It's huge. John was like, yeah, it makes me uncomfortable. I was like, me too. I mean, we're talking about like too much. And then he just grabs the headphones and goes, Jackie, are you there? Are you listening? And for a split second, we thought we had this whole conversation with our intern listening. And I was like, oh my God, we're in trouble.
A full 10 minutes of just a young female employee. That means she would have been a fly on the wall, so I don't think it really would have been on us. But there are
I don't know if that holds up in court, pal. I don't know if the Me Too movement allows that.
There are times now, like, it's just like a weird because of COVID and things like that. People are on Zoom, and it's happened to Jeffrey Toobin. We weren't to that. We weren't both fucking jerking each other's dicks. But
yeah, that went on a couple more minutes. Who knows what Jackie would have heard?
But like I've done, like, I do therapy in here.
Just joined,
and I'm always like, God, I hope these fucking microphones aren't on. Otherwise, we're gonna have a weird KFC radio episode this week.
Yeah, that could have been exceptionally awkward if she was just like, "Hey guys," what would we have done? I would have been like, "LOL, it was a bit. That was a joke
Our
video,
first bit ever.
Yeah, totally new original segment called." Trick the intern into thinking you're talking about porn. That's so funny. My heart fucking jumped out of my chest for a second.
You were like really distraught.
I was
you were
like,
oh no.
It's like my heart was in my throat, my dick. I was like, let me put my dick away first. Jesus Christ, I'm all hot and bothered over here. So we came in hot to say the least, and we've got a big episode with a couple monster guests, two returning guests.
And a big announcement.
We got Joe Manganiello and Glenn Howerton both promoting the movie Archenemy, both in this sci-fi action movie that's a monster. So 2 of our better guests ever, back to back. We'll, of course, do voicemails and Am I the Asshole? I think we should do the announcement.
You want to do the announcement?
Yeah.
Okay.
Start that off. Wednesday night, the first ever... a very Barstool Christmas. We're going to have a Barstool Christmas celebration on KFC Radio. It's a live show on Wednesday night, 8 o'clock. It is presented by New Amsterdam Vodka. So, we can't do live shows in person. We can't get back out to the comedy clubs and the theaters. So we're going to do it at the next best place, John Henry's apartment.
My apartment!
Let's go. A night with KFC and Feidelberg in Johnny's apartment. We're going to be streaming it live. We're going to have Chris DiStefano, the Are You Garbage guys. We're going to have a few guests come through. Probably some Barstool people will pop in. And we're going to have ourselves a hell of a night thanks to New Amsterdam. We'll drink some cocktails and enjoy some vodka. We'll talk about Christmas. We'll do a KFC radio episode. It's like a souped up live podcast on steroids, which is something that we want to try to, I think, go forward with on a bigger scale. It's kind of a test. So, we've done the live show thing, and I'm sure we'll do more of it if and when we're able to get back out there. But I do believe that we are more of an internet show. We are digital. We've always been a podcast. We've always been on video. You watch it at home on your phones, on your computers. And, we put on a good live show. And I think anybody who's ever come out to the comedy clubs and the theaters have enjoyed it. But I think it's more realistic for us to just keep killing the internet. And so I think COVID or not, we're going to probably keep going forward with regularly scheduled video live podcast, kind of like what Tom and Bert Kreischer have been doing in Your Mom's House, where, you can kick back with us for a night and and we go balls to the wall. We'll get guests. We'll cut loose. We'll do some segments. We'll do some pre-recorded bits. The whole nine.
It'll be on Barstool and it'll be on YouTube, I believe.
YouTube
actually,
Live.
no, it'll be everywhere. It'll be everywhere.
This
on
one
Twitter,
is.
It'll be
it's,
on.
Imagine if we were doing a gambling cave, an electric chair, wherever you can watch it. When we do Friday Night Pints sort of thing, you can watch it on the blog. You can watch it on social. Wherever you usually watch Pints, you can watch this as well. And then going forward, we'll figure out where it'll live when we're doing big extravaganza type shows. So the first foray into what I believe is going to be big for us specifically, just because, again, it's a little bit of I feel this way, at least, a little bit of a square peg in a round hole with live shows, just because that's, everybody else in our field, if you will, are stand-up comics who have a podcast, and we just had a podcast. So I think we're better suited on the internet.
I think you're hard on yourself about those.
I know I am.
Like live podcasting is just a thing.
Yeah,
like a lot of people who it's yes, the people we specifically talk to usually, but also there are a lot of fucking people who just do live podcasts
for
at
sure.
comedy shows.
And I think that a lot of times the live podcast, they just are like, we're gonna have a conversation up here for like an hour and a half. And people do enjoy it, but I feel compelled to make people laugh and have punchlines and almost be like a stand-up comic, and I'm not per se. Whereas I think if we do something on the internet, it'll just be like we're in I'm in my comfort zone, and I'll be ready to fucking let it rip and kick back. But we do it in a different setting. We have some more guests, so it's it's different, and I think it'll be a hell of a night. It'll be a fun time.
I think it's gonna be very, very fun. I'm gonna get drunk at it. I'm gonna drink a lot of New Amsterdam. A responsible amount.
Yeah.
But it's going to be, I think we'll probably have some presents exchanged. We'll probably, I don't know. I was just thinking maybe we do a little Yankee swap.
Sure.
With all the people there.
Yep.
Like that.
We do a swap.
I
think I'll be doing
gifts. We got to get like,
I think we'll be
10
presenting the Ruth Kondo Awards. We'll be giving out the best awards
we're doing
for
that on this one?
Yeah, I think so. Let's do we'll do best picture for the people who painted ridiculous paintings. We'll do best fake kid tweet. We'll do best Ruth Bader Ginsburg tweet. We'll have a couple categories, and we'll read off the nominees and give out some awards. We'll have the guests coming through. We'll do a very trashy Christmas with Are You Garbage. We'll talk about what a white trash Christmas entails. We'll have DeStefano come through, and hopefully he'll show us his cock. Maybe we can sit on his lap. Who knows? So it should be a fun night that I think a lot of people will enjoy. And that'll be Wednesday night. A week from, less than a week now. And it should be the first of many to come, I think. So it's a test in some ways. So the more the merrier, the bigger the number, the better the feedback, the more interaction we can get. We would appreciate it all. So mark it on your calendar, tell your friends, get together with some buddies.
Very much appreciate it.
Yeah. We need this one to be big. So we can shove it up Stu's ass. And if you tell your friends and you get together with a bunch of buddies, if you can, I think it's a cool thing if you are stuck, if you are locked in. It's kind of like what Friday Night Pints was. It'll be like a Friday Night Pints experience where, you can come hang with us and everybody will be watching at the same exact time, and you can live tweet it and interact, hopefully in like a chat of some sort, whatever platform you're watching on. So it should be a fun night. So check it out. Very Barstool Christmas, presented by KFC Radio, Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, featuring Are You Garbage, Chris DeStefano, and others. And it's gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be a good one.
I'm very much looking forward. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm very much looking forward to it.
Yeah, you gonna be nervous? I don't think I'm gonna be nervous.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm nervous about
once you're sitting in your own house, you'll be fine.
Yeah. Once I have a few Navi drinks.
Yeah, we get Navi flowing, and then we just kind of do, a podcast. You have a couple segments that we know we're going to hit, and the rest will just be bullshitting, you know? So that'll be dope. Why don't you subscribe?
It means you like us.
Click the subscribe button, because if you don't, I'm going to fucking murder John.
And I'm going to like it.
Kill him with my bare fucking hands.
Yeah.
And if you weren't sold on this video, there's plenty more. Watch what's next up and then subscribe. But just subscribe so I don't have to fucking kill him.
Well, I don't know. Do what you want, but subscribe. Probably.
All right, so in the next week, make sure you get in all your Ruth Kondo Award nominations. Send me, we've got a bunch already, but if there's any more that you want to make sure have been officially nominated, send them to me with the hashtag Ruth Kondo Forever Awards. That's how I track them all. Also, if you have any ideas for what we should do for our Secret Santa Yankee swap, tweet us any good gift ideas that you have for John, for myself, for any of our guests. And get the hype rolling. Tell your friends, tweet about it, and let us know anything you want to see on the live show that night. And so we can make this as good and as big as possible. As far as today, we got some things to talk about.
We got a lot. We got a lot today.
Hot. I'm hot. Let me take off the sweater here. I want to start. Let's start. We're going to make sure that John's apartment is nice and safe and secure before we have a live show there. We don't want anybody breaking in. You know what? There's two ways to keep your house safe in the city. You can either kill a rat and hang it from a fucking cord dangling in front of your apartment building so that nobody enters. I mean, what in the world?
It was one of the more disturbing photographs ever on, like I'm not even kidding.
Period.
It was a disturbing image that was, I mean, it's up there with like some of the more disturbing images you'll ever see in your life.
Period. Old school like, Internet 1.0 shit.
I was going to go with like Birmingham, but yeah.
Yeah, sure. All that stuff.
Both of them. Both disturbing things.
You see like a picture of like a burning cross, or you see this rat who's been lynched.
Or you see Goatsy, or you see fucking Jarman.
Like, Tub Girl, all that shit. This, for anybody else out there who still thinks New York City is like this magical, wonderful place, someone fucking killed a rat, wrapped a cord around its neck, a string around its neck, and fucking lynched it.
I mean,
it was dangling in the wind.
Which is fucked up, but I get it. You're sending a message. Those other rats are seeing that shit.
You're sending a message to the poor son of a bitch.
That's some fucking Hamlet shit, man. That's Shakespearean.
Could you imagine being the guy, you're walking into your apartment building, this would be me. I got my head buried in my phone, I'm on Twitter, and I just, like in Along Came Polly, when Ben Stiller's got his face up against Philip Seymour Hoffman's body. Imagine that dead rat just clocks you, get teabagged by the dead rat. I wouldn't break into that apartment. I'd be like, whoa, we're not going in there. But that requires killing a rat and lynching it. Do we want to do that? No, we don't. We want to just have our house protected safely and affordably. And that's brought to you by Simply Safe. It's the #1 in-home security right now. It's affordable. It doesn't take a long time to set up. You yourself can set it up, so you don't have to have anybody in your home. You don't have to have any technicians come in. You get everything sent right to you. It has some cameras, some motion sensors, some sirens and alarms, a couple objects you got to plug in and set up. It takes like less than an hour, 30 minutes even. It's 24/7 security after that. That means protection from burglaries, break-ins, floods, fires, anything that can do damage. And right now you can get a free camera when you purchase a Simply Safe system at SimpliSafe, SIMPLI, safe.com/KFC radio. That's simplysafe.com/KFC radio. Get a 60-day risk-free trial, so there's nothing to lose. If you're a new homeowner, you got a baby, you got important belongings and objects to take care of, you want to protect your family, your loved ones, just do this. Because God, if you're like the man of the house, the new homeowner, and something somebody breaks in or whatever, that's on you. You're fucked. That's like a guy job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you got to take out the garbage. And you got to do like the security stuff. So just get this, be done with it. It's affordable, it's cheap, it's
and
easy.
then it's not on you anymore.
Right. Then it's like, well, I did my part. Yeah. Like Simply Safe, we got to talk to them.
You don't have to live on the range anymore.
Right.
Simply Safe is
SimpliSafe.com/KFC radio. All right, topics.
First, let's go Jake Paul and Jemele Hill.
This one, I was taken aback.
You were taken aback by what?
I was surprised that she did this. So Jemele Hill and Kari Champion, they have a show on Vice called Won't Stick to Sports, and they were interviewing Jake Paul, and she jokingly asks him, was it racist for you to knock out Nate Robinson? And Jake Paul's kind of like, what? No, like we're just boxers. No, there's nothing racist, has nothing to do with it. And then he has some problems with his Wi-Fi and the connection was bad, so they like reestablish it. And Kari Champion, again, she asks this time and like doubles down. And Jake Paul's like, can you stop asking me that? That's a shitty question. Like, there's no race involved. And she's like, no. Like, we got to wake you up. We got to have the conversation. Is it racist for a white man to knock out a black man? Which puts Jake Paul in like an impossible spot.
Right.
Because to be like, I think it's okay for white men to knock out black men, that doesn't sound great at all, does it? So it was a joke, but my thing is that if Dave Chappelle said that, it is funny. It's a funny notion. Black Twitter has been joking, and some people have been like serious about it. There was this very bizarre automatic racial thing going on there, right? Like everybody felt it right away. And it wasn't like, when Conor McGregor has hyped up some of his fights, sometimes he has been racist. And there is racism in boxing and fighting promo and shit talking. many times. There was none here, but it was like implied because Jake is like he's kind of like this brat, he's a white brat, and Nate's like this black guy, and there's just like automatic vibes. But Jake Paul's like, I'm not racist at all. There's nothing here. So there is something funny and inherent about it. But if like Dave Chappelle did that, if Chris Rock did that, if a very funny person who has made a career off of that type of humor did that, I think it would play. I think it's crazy for Jemele Hill to now all of a sudden think that she can just be doing tongue-in-cheek, laughing about this stuff, because she's been deadly serious about it every other time.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, but I also think that I know Jemele put herself in a tough position because she seems to be one of the most disliked people on the internet. It seems like
both sides kind of like.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It feels like
a little Lena Dunham-esque, where even the side she's arguing for is like,
I'd rather just not be like Frank and Dennis with the U.S. Constitution. It was like, I wish you would stop using the Constitution this way when they're trying to decide who can use the bathroom.
Right.
I hate being on your side in an argument.
Yes.
And I don't consume enough Jemele Hill to have an opinion on her that's not based on anything but what other people say.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I've never really read many articles or seen many of her actual videos and shit like that. So I don't really think anything about Jemele Hill. But this video, like, it was clear that people just wanted to shit on her, I feel like. Because what she did was she asked a Twitter question. It reminded me of was it Walker Buehler, who had the really tight pants in the World Series?
Yeah.
And like the person asked, and it was like, well, yeah, it's literally
It's being
what
talked about.
everyone's saying.
It's silly, but like it's a topic of discussion.
Right. And like what their problem is they ask, which again, they're clearly joking. I don't think either of them.
Anybody who's saying that they were serious is being ridiculous. And anybody who's saying she was joking, but she believes it, I think you're getting a little like conspiratorial.
Yeah. Right.
So, but like anybody who's just like, no, that was serious. It's like she's literally laughing as she says.
They're both laughing.
I bet you a lot of people read that quote and didn't see it. If you see it, you know she's joking. If you want to tell me that you believe in her heart that she does, what I was interested to see, I haven't heard their reaction, because I think when people get told, oh, that was a joke, well, it wasn't funny and it missed the mark, you get defensive.
Mm-hmm.
If their reaction should be, you're right, that was a joke and it misfired and it didn't hit, like, hand up. If they start to defend it, I could see them getting into a place where they almost like rev themselves up to being like, well, there is a discussion to be had. So like, no. Because you get defensive about your humor, and next thing you know, I've done this where it's like I kind of did it with The Mandalorian, where I was like, I didn't really care, but all of a sudden I'm arguing about it. And then I was like, no, you know what? This show fucking sucks, because you just get into the argument of it all. So they better not like condone it in any way. Because I think we both agree, if you were being serious, you're a fucking asshole.
Right.
Then you were a race-baiting asshole if you actually think that there is racial implications. So their reaction next is important. By the time you're listening to this, they probably already have reacted, so we'll find out.
Have.
What did they say?
Jemele was like, basically just like, I can't believe you guys think I'm being serious. Like I forget. It was like we're like kind of say like
that's why I'm mad at people for saying that she's serious. That shouldn't be the reaction. I think the reaction should be like, well, now all of a sudden we're joking. Now we can do lighthearted humor. Now we can poke fun at this after everything she's ever done has been like so fucking serious, and we've taken little things and made big deals of it. Now she gets to joke. I don't think that's fair.
Think I don't know enough about her. I think she's always been a fairly not a comedian by any stretch of the imagination, but I think she's always not always. I feel like I'm like talking myself into circles here. But I feel like I don't think everything is. There's a lot. There's a fucking ton. But I think she could also like. I mean, I feel like her and Michael Smith would laugh a lot about shit.
Well, that's what is tough too. Is like then there was that time she came at us, and then like everyone found that tweet where she was making fun of Manny the tranny, and it's like, well, it looks like sometimes you do joke around, but then like I don't think you can do both of those things. I feel like it's tough, and she doesn't do enough joking where all of a sudden, like if we did that, we can't do that because it's like white guys and race, and that would be trouble. But the essence of that joke we could do, because people know we're not serious about these things.
Right.
And like I said, if Dave Chappelle did like a skit on that, it'd be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, but
if Chris
also that's
Rock
an unfair burden to put on someone. Like, yeah, you have to be Dave Chappelle or Chris Rock.
No,
like,
but I think you have to be comedic, and that's if you touch subjects of race and abortion and all that shit that's like tough, you have to do it very well. And I think you have to have like a track record of it. I think you have to be known as like, I'm the guy who jokes about racism. I'm the guy who takes serious subjects and spins them into a joke. And she's not that in my mind. I mean,
but also
I don't think of her as funny at all.
It's one of those things that like I think it's a clip we've probably used before in the past at Barstool where like Patrice O'Neal is like, look, I was trying to make a joke. If that didn't work for you, then that's fine. But I wasn't being serious, so you can't hold me accountable for being serious. And like,
But I'm holding her accountable for being serious. I'm holding her accountable for being like, it's not her lane really.
I mean, you got a show on like a late night show on Vice. Like, you're gonna be a little funny sometimes. Now, maybe she wasn't the right person to hire or whatever. Yeah. But like, I don't think
when your show is called like "Won't Stick to Sports," like it's gonna be about like social issues, and it's gonna be like her Jemele Hill's bread and butter is not humor. It's like
for sure.
It's racial issues, it's societal issues, it's politics. And then you're touching a very like third rail topic and being like, ha ha, and it's like, well, that's, you know, I said like,
but almost like the Manny the tranny
she's
stuff.
like, lighten up. It's like, well, we wanted you to lighten up for fucking years. You're the one who takes everything and spins it into a big deal, or takes things out of context yourself, or is hypocritical about it. It just doesn't feel like if you're gonna. You can be funny sometimes. I just wouldn't touch that issue with the guy right there, too. It's like, how is he supposed to respond to you in that?
Well, I got two things. So one, I feel like me getting mad at her, which I'm obviously not, like that would be hypocritical. That would be like Manny the tranny type deal. If I was like, I don't like that joke. You didn't do a good job with that joke. I've made a million jokes that people don't like. And I've been like, look, I was fucking trying to be funny. It didn't work
jokes
for you.
Bomb
Sorry.
sometimes, yeah.
Right? Like, my bad. But so like if I'm like, oh, how dare she joke about that? Like, I joke about things I probably shouldn't joke about, and I don't do a great job all the time.
But that's what we do. That's who we are. We never put ourselves out there as like, also read my fucking think pieces about these things for, you know,
we get
major
serious
issues.
Sometimes.
Very rarely.
Very rarely.
Extremely. We are the opposites. The amount of times that we are serious is equal to the amount of times that she is joking.
Right.
And so when you jump in to like the
and I'm
big,
talking
the
more,
deep
not
end
even
of,
just you and I. I'm talking like Barstool as a whole.
Yeah.
But like yeah, sometimes they're just serious articles written on our website that like people are passionate about. And so we try and be funny, but sometimes it gets serious. You're trying to be serious, and sometimes you get funny. Like we're both going to be pretty bad at the other one.
Right.
I don't know.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. As long as we're admitting, like it was bad. Like it wasn't well done.
I think the problem with it was because I feel like I've done this with interviews before too, where I'm like, I know I have to bring up something that's going to make them uncomfortable, and like not like uncomfortable, but like something that it might maybe even more so me than them. It's going to make me uncomfortable to bring this up, but like it's something that the internet's talking about, or like Tommy Lee's
I don't know if
dick.
that needed to be brought up.
Like Tommy Lee's dick.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's more like that. I think that did need. I don't think anybody would ever be like, how did you not bring up Black Twitter saying this is racist?
I mean, it was one of the main storylines of the fight. After the fight ended,
I would not. If I had interviewed Jake Paul, I would not have felt compelled to talk about that.
I don't think I would have felt compelled, but I would have done it. I probably would have said it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they said it again.
Yes.
If you did it once and he kind of
and
laughed,
it was
like,
and like they chose to air all that.
And it was like if he like laughed, it was like nah. You'd be like and you moved on.
Right.
But because you're like all right, I said the thing that like was a pretty big storyline. I talked about it. He gave his answer, and now it's like, but to keep going with it. And although Carrie Champion did say
she also was like Jemele laughed about it and did it once. Carrie was the one who was like, no. Like there's like we gotta wake you up and have you be a part of this conversation. Like she kind of kept pushing it. I think both of those people or a producer or someone needs to recognize, forget about like humor versus racism versus think piece. Like that was a bad question in an interview. You know what I mean? Like when you've asked a question that's like, oh yikes, this is not working well. So like let's just move on from it rather than let's do it again.
I also think that so first of all, Carrie Champion replied and said that was all pre-agreed to. So like that's maybe just Jake Paul being a showman. Like ask me about it. I know that'll be viral. And two, I think she's getting a bad rep with. I don't think she meant I want to wake you up and have you be a part of this conversation in racism. Now I only watched the clip once or twice, so maybe I'm wrong, misreading it. I thought she just was saying like
physically wake you up.
Yeah,
like, I thought that, but then when I watched it, I think saying like you got to be a part of the conversation. That sounds to me like be a part of the like the racial conversation, not like engage in this.
I guess I'd have to see the full interview, which I'm not going to do. Yeah. Like how was he
he starts like slapping himself on the face, and I was like, oh, maybe he's waking himself up like it's early in the morning for him when they recorded this or whatever. But when she said like, no, we got to wake you up, we got to make you a part of the conversation, I was like, that feels like you have to engage in like the racism conversation.
Saying it that way, I agree with you. Yeah. But when she said it, I didn't feel that. So I don't know. But
so either way, it's just like I can't believe they even still like. To me, that would have been like, oh, that didn't work, so let's like edit that out or let's not air that. You know what I mean? Because it didn't land either of the times and was not particularly funny, and also leaves you open to the criticism, you know? And the crazy people being like, it was serious. Like, it's definitely not serious, but I just think it was a joke that didn't land.
Yeah, you
and
can
tried
cut
it
those
twice.
things out.
And
now they probably don't want to because it's probably what they wanted.
Sure.
But like,
I mean, I didn't know they had a show.
I didn't know they had a
Now
show
I
either.
do.
I thought
who's the
she
big
was
loser
doing
here?
like
Who's
a
the big
town
one?
hall on Vice.
Yeah.
I didn't know she had a show because
Right.
I saw the watermark and I didn't know what video was coming because
Right.
the video I saw of it didn't even have like a caption.
Right.
It was just like a bunch of question marks.
Yep.
And I was like, I don't know what I'm about to watch. But
It's
let's
tough
figure it
too,
out.
by the way, because they say stick to sports, but like the title says it's written out like in parentheses won't. But then when they say it, they're like, welcome back to Stick to Sports. And it's like, I don't know what the real name is and what the real name isn't. And like, this is not going to work. This show is not going to work.
All those parentheses have been ruined for me by the AIDS movement. Like,
What?
When I see parentheses now,
You think of
I
AIDS?
I just think of red.
Yeah.
You know? Especially if it's like before a word or anything. And maybe it's because my mind just went there because I believe they have a red background on this set. So that in parentheses means AIDS. But
Your like Rorschach test is just wacky. Parentheses, AIDS. AIDS. What's up? What's next on the rundown?
all right, next topic. I don't think I shower right. How do you? Okay, so it's not even the shower; it's the post shower where I'm just gonna pose
boy.
it this way: how long are you dressed after a shower? Like
how long before I put on clothes?
How
you
many
mean?
minutes pass before you put on clothes?
Okay, let me just run through what I do. I get in the shower. I wash my body, not my legs.
Right.
I believe in gravity. I know that my legs are taken care of. I wash my hair, face.
Skip that. Dude.
Right. You don't wash your face. So but you just wash like your dick and balls and that's it.
Pretty
right?
much,
Okay.
yeah.
Then I will dry myself like in the shower because I get cold. I like to stay in the actual shower.
Okay, here's where I'm interested.
Then I will stand. I'll wrap a towel like around my waist and I will brush my teeth.
Okay.
I will put on deodorant, and then I will walk right to my bedroom to put clothes on.
Okay, but when you say dry yourself off, how dry?
Again, it really depends to me. It's about like cold, like being cold. So like right now in the winter, I will like dry myself off. I'll do the thing where you grab both sides of the towel and get your back. I dry off. So you'll just stand there soaking wet.
See, this is my problem. I knew I do it wrong, and I just don't have the patience.
So you don't shower wrong, you dry off.
I dry. It's more of the post shower activity.
It's more. It's not that you dry off wrong. You don't dry off.
I am fully dressed within 2 minutes of getting out of the shower.
So you're like soaking wet.
Soaking wet.
I mean, that's crazy.
I am, particularly my undercarriage. I've never put a
Yeah.
towel on my under buttons at once. I've never done the ring. I've never like.
By the way, I don't do it between my dick. I do like my back.
Yeah, nah, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Okay, I just don't want people thinking I put my towel and I like floss my ass. I don't do that.
You kind of do.
No, I don't at all. I go like this.
Oh, I see. Yeah, heavens no, I would never do that.
To get like because the middle of my back, you're kind of reaching this
Yeah.
way, that way, and then I'll when I dry off, I go legs first, and I get down there and doing my legs, and then I get like the arms, then I'll do the back thing, I am head to toe dry.
Okay, I'll give you a
what's tough
visual
for me?
description. Let me get that shirt.
The having a beard like now, it's like when your beard is as wet as like the hair on your head, it's like you got to dry off your face too. It's a lot.
So here I am. I'm coming out of the shower right now. Ready? I got my towel.
I know what you do. You go, you pat your face, and that's it.
I got my hair towel here. My hair towel here, right? Boom, face. 2 runs through the hair.
Yeah.
Around the waist.
Yeah.
And then we're to the
I mean, that's
bureau.
crazy. You're traipsing water all over the place.
It looks like they do cannonballs in the shower. In the shower. It is.
I mean, that's crazy.
It's crazy, and I know I'm doing it wrong. I just will not stop.
And then you put a shirt on, and it's like it's
sucks
wet.
to me.
Yeah.
Underpants are the worst. My underwear is still wet right now. Like, my underwear is wet right now from this morning. I swear.
There's
to
your
God.
cold open. Oh my God.
It is like
Some days it's easier.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense. I know it doesn't make any sense,
Yeah.
and I can't stop it.
Well, it's just like the ultimate laziness,
It's just, I get dressed moist.
Not only that word, but just the thought of feeling it. It's like
okay, what, you know, like I cook a lot.
it's like you know what people get like really turned off by wet socks. Like that's what you do willingly.
100%.
Your whole get up
like,
is wet socks.
undo myself right now because it's like
Undo myself.
It's
he
all
says.
wet and just getting stuck, and it's like it doesn't make sense. I know it doesn't make sense, and it's like okay, so I cook a lot, and with the HelloFresh, they have the directions that say like pat your chicken dry before you start to cook it, and I give it a pat dry, and that's how I treat my body.
Fucking man compared himself to a chicken cutlet.
I am a raw piece
He
of
says,
chicken.
"I treat my body like a chicken cutlet." You are a pathetic man.
Oh my god!
It's just though. It's just like you're making this process horrific for yourself. You know.
It is
In the summertime,
not ideal.
in the summertime, I might like air dry a little bit more. But when I'm cold and I'm gotta put on like a sweater and shit, it's like, ugh, you're gonna be wet.
Yeah.
And especially
No,
like if you have like a fuzzy sweatshirt, it's like you're like pull. It's like it's getting stuck on you, and you gotta like pull it through when it's wet.
when I
know?
if I wear a dark shirt, like all like
the
lid,
fuzzies,
it's
yeah,
stuck to me.
yes. I wore a
me see
brand
it.
new yes.
Do I have, I'm wearing a black shirt.
No.
It is an older one though.
When
So
I wore a brand new I wore a brand new black hoodie the other day, so it's super soft. And I was running around here doing the goddamn Jets, and I poured beer on myself, and I was sweating from the Raiders game, and I like the black fuzz like came off on me.
Yeah.
You know, it looked like a bruise almost. I was like, what is this black tint? And I just rubbed it, and it was like lint all over me. That's what you just do yourself every morning.
regularly.
That is insane.
Almost every day I
That
come
is
home.
insane.
My skin is
Insane.
Is dyed a tone of the
Insane.
clothes I was wearing.
Absolutely insane.
Like
you
when like,
tie dye yourself.
Yeah, you know
you
when you, like-
tie dye your own flesh.
if you like get caught in a rainstorm in like new jeans and like you take them off and you're just blue, like
Yeah.
like I'm like
when it bleeds into your sneakers,
Yep.
that's you on your skin every day on purpose.
not every day, but well, yeah. I mean, not every day does it run. Every day they're put on while I'm wet.
Totally ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. Your girlfriend needs to just whip you into shape. I need her to sit there in the morning. They dry yourself off. Finish drying off. Finish it.
It is like the. I guess that's how I rebelled as a kid. Was I just didn't do the bare minimum. It was.
You really showed them, John. What a rebellion that was.
It was just like I didn't like to brush my teeth. I didn't like to put my dishes in the dishwasher. I was a regular person. I feel like I don't think that's obscure.
You are a colossal idiot.
It is staggering. Like I can't stress enough. My underwear is wet right now.
Also, by the way, it should be dry by
Like,
now.
It's been a long.
sweating?
It's been a long. I guess it's probably
Probably. It probably
like,
creates like a rainforest
it makes
effect.
you sweat more
Ugh. You just have damp underpants right now.
every day.
The words damp and moist have been used too much. What's the next topic? Dry yourself off.
This one's a fun one. This
Okay.
one. Well, it's not fun. It's crazy.
You sound like Elf. Like, oh, this is a fun one.
Okay. When do you think that women were allowed to have their own bank account?
Oh, this makes me feel like it's a date not too long ago.
This is a Picasso-esque question.
Yeah. This is like when remember when Augusta let Condoleezza Rice in like 2013?
Yeah.
That was crazy.
And I believe she's still the only one.
Yeah, it's not like there was like the floodgates, right? They were like, all right, we'll let this one in.
Yeah.
Women were allowed to have their own bank account. I bet. Is it in the 1900s?
Oh, yeah.
Is it in the 1950s?
A little later.
60s?
Okay, so here's the deal. In the 60s, it was legalized, but banks were still refusing them. And in 1975, it was made in the law that you could not refuse a woman her own bank account.
See, these are things where,
Bro,
like,
I was born a little more than a decade later.
Yeah.
Like, that is,
Yeah, like my brother has friends who were born in like the late 70s, you know, like
You know what's funny? Picasso probably never saw
yeah,
one get banked.
yeah. Picasso was dead
Just
right
barely.
around that edge, you know. That is
73.
those are things where I sometimes jokingly, but also somewhat believe like the glass ceiling's overrated. There's women CEOs. There are girls who have careers. Like, let's not make it out to be blah, blah, blah. And then you hear that they couldn't get a fucking bank account in 1974.
Bro, that's why the divorce rates have gone up. We can't kidnap women anymore.
So that's my first thought was like, the only reason it probably became necessary was they got divorced and needed their own bank accounts. And they were like, well, if we're going to let these bitches divorce us, I guess we got to give them a bank account too. Shit.
Like, that's like fucking women, like single women, like little cat ladies, spinstresses, whatever. We're just fucking burying money in their backyard in a tin can because that's the only place they could legally keep it.
I mean,
it's
that
fucking
is
nuts.
The fact that they could, I don't know what's worse, the not being allowed or it's legal and they're just like, no,
right?
That's even worse to me.
Where'd you get all that money? You steal it from your husband,
right?
Get out of here.
Because like,
you fucking thief.
It's one thing if a bank teller is like, listen, lady, like when I put your information in the system, it's like it's gonna say no. I just can't do it for you. Versus like a bank teller being like, I ain't giving you one. Like these people in the banks really had a moral opposition to a woman just having an account. If it's illegal, it's illegal. If it's legal and you're just like, no, like, Jesus Christ. That's nuts. That's like the Jim Crow laws of the bank,
That's why fucking housewives in the 60s and 70s were always fucking 50s too. We're always fucking cooking, always fucking cleaning. Because guess what? They need to get their goddamn allowance.
And that's why guys were just fucking and doing whatever they wanted. They're just like, you cannot go anywhere. You have no money.
You are literally legally attached to me. There's nothing
crazy.
you can do. And you know what also is crazy is how quickly it's flipped in the sense that I don't even know where my money is.
Yeah. like in my house, my parents' house, like my dad never paid bills or anything. He just like made the money and my mom took care of everything. He almost got the allowance.
Dude, I like it took me many phone calls like when I was like applying for an apartment to like find my money. Like I didn't know how to get bank statements and shit. Like I didn't know what banks I had to call. It was a process, an arduous process for me to locate my money, and it was just
again disclaimer like you are the idiot, but yes, I do understand your point.
Well, in most households now, I feel like the women run the finances.
Yeah,
I say most as in the one I grew up in.
Right, I was gonna say me and you basically,
Right.
But I do think it's like I mean I hate paying bills. I fucking hate it to the point that sometimes I don't do it.
Don't do it.
And then I every time I've checked my credit, it's only been a couple times, but like I checked my credit recently and it was good and I was flabbergasted because I was like, I have bills that I just ignore.
Yeah, if someone wants money from me, don't ask me for it.
Yeah, I'm not giving it to you.
I wouldn't know how to give it to you.
I say
if
this
it's
too.
not if I can't Venmo it to you, I don't know how to get it to you.
The biggest piece of advice I can give people, young people,
is as I say that.
You got to Venmo somebody?
Oh, fuck. Go on.
No, what?
No, nothing. I did have a checkbook. I don't know where it is.
Yeah, well, I have not had checks in a long time.
No, but I mean, I had it like recently, like in this office.
Yeah, that's gone.
I don't know where it is. Oh, fuck me.
I think the biggest piece of advice I can give people when you're first starting out, take the extra 15 minutes, even half hour, because like you said, it can be an arduous process to find your routing number and your bank account number and all that. Set up your auto pay to your actual bank account, and you never have to do it again. Every time I've ever lost a credit card, changed credit cards, whatever, I all of a sudden like, well, yeah, this is overdue, and that's not paid, and like, I mean, I remember once I wasn't paying my insurance because my credit card expired, and I like missed maybe like a two months, whatever, and I got it back, and like the next week, my nanny was in a car accident, and if I hadn't fucking fixed that and we had a car accident and we weren't covered, I would have been in so much trouble. My ex-wife would have fucking murdered me. If she was like, oh, it's covered by insurance, I'm like, yeah, sure.
See, I don't think that's fair of her to do because you should know. You should know
that I'm incompetent.
You got to stay on top of this stuff.
Well, that's the thing about getting divorced, by the way. You just lose all of the things that women do. I've told my friends, I said, I don't RSVP. I do not RSVP to things. You invite me to something and I plan on coming, it's going to be a question mark until the day I come, because the RSVPing is woman folk job, okay, and things like that. Yeah, like bills and
That's for ladies in tablecloth dresses.
When my car broke down the other day, I was like, yeah, the tow truck was coming, but they said they were going to be there in an hour, and I needed to get to work, so I just had to leave it there. I'll deal with it later. And she's like, if you go through Geico, they can tow it like without you being there. And I was like, oh, fantastic. And she was like, how have you even been like surviving without me? And I'm like, I'm not. Look at me. I'm not. I barely am alive. I don't know any of these things.
The fact that you even made a phone call. Like if my car broke down, if I had a car right now and it broke down,
You wouldn't know what to do.
I would
Call
get
Dad.
out. I'd call an Uber.
Yeah. Just leave it there.
And then just leave it there. I don't know.
Oh,
Someone's going to do something with it at some point, I'm sure.
It's not going to be there forever. Right. I don't know. Eventually it'll biodegrade or something. I don't know. It's now a statue.
At best, I'd push it into a river.
Turn into one of those cars that you like beat with a hammer outside when there's a game at night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll paint the logo on it. You just smash it up.
I'd go fucking Ryu on it.
What a ridiculous premise that was in Street Fighter, by the way. Beating a car with your bare hands and destroying it. Destroying it with your kicks.
What's Ryu, man?
He was barefoot.
Hadouken! Oh, so you can.
Okay, am I the asshole coming up? But first, John made a discovery, a revelation, if you will.
I was watching The Punisher last night, and I'm a big John Bernthal fan. I love John.
I know him as Shane from The Walking Dead, for those who watch that.
Okay, I never saw that one. But John Bernthal, I feel like, doesn't have a ton of leading roles at all. But every movie he's in, he makes significantly better, which I think is one of the nicest things you can say about an actor. But I was watching The Punisher, and which I've seen before, but it for some reason was on my Netflix homepage again, and I don't know, I'm a slave to technology, and I said, well, that's what you think I should watch? I guess I'll watch it. It was literally it. It was just like, okay.
You recommend it for me?
Sure.
Okie dokie.
And it's nice to not have to make decisions. I wish Seamless would do that. Here's what you have for dinner tonight.
Right.
Perfect.
Done.
Perfect.
Done. You have a 98% match on these tacos. Great.
Yeah, love
Let's
it.
go.
Here it is. In fact,
That's an idea.
yeah, hang on a second. We might have just stumbled onto something.
That's an idea. eat flicks.
Ooh.
Eat flicks, and they just give you matches.
Most popular right now, popular in your area, like Pornhub.
Top 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
Recommended for you.
Yeah,
Based on your past. Reorder. Eat flicks is
I love that.
popping.
I love that. But anyway, so I was just laying in bed and I was interested in John Bernthal because I'm a fan.
Yeah.
And his IMDb is actually pretty fucking insane. I'm gonna go through that before we go through his fucking family history. But okay, his IMDb, what he's known for is Wolf of Wall Street.
Pick one.
He's great in it.
Yep.
Baby Driver, he's great in it. Fury, he's great in it. The Accountant, I don't remember him in it. Ford vs. Ferrari, he's great
Awesome
in it.
in that. Yeah.
Peanut Butter Falcon, great in it. Punisher, I mean, he's fucking unbelievable. And then the other ones I don't really know.
Punisher's
Oh, Shot Caller, he's great in Shot Caller.
He always plays like a badass.
Sweet Virginia is one of his lesser known ones, but
Yeah.
he's a star of that one. It's fucking great. But he's fucking awesome. So I was just like, hey, I like this guy. What's his deal all about? And I remember reading an article on him in Esquire. This is probably around the time when Punisher was coming out. And he just seemed like a badass. Yeah. Like, I knew his family was interesting. It didn't go as in-depth as his Wikipedia does. But I knew his family was like, I don't know if they were politicians or what, but he grew up in D.C., and he was kind of the bad boy brother.
Right.
Like, he'd get in fights. If you've seen his nose, he looks like
very
Biz.
broken.
And there was one funny line where they were at a dog park. He has 2 pit bulls, and one of the pit bulls started wrestling with another dog, and he gets up and he starts running across the dog park, yelling, "Shove your thumb in his ass! Shove your thumb in its ass!" And I guess that's how you get a pit bull to calm down.
That's how you get I don't know about calm down, but it's how you get anything to stop doing what they're doing.
So he just sprints across a dog park and shoves a thumb up a dog's ass. And I was like, I love this guy. This guy's a wild man.
Yeah.
And so now I finally did the Wikipedia search. He has one of the wildest families you'll ever fucking hear of in your entire life. Like, it's crazy. The success that first of all, he went to Skidmore and Harvard, grad school at Harvard.
Sure.
His brother, Tom Bernthal, former NBC news producer, now the CEO of a marketing company, engaged to Sheryl Sandberg.
Sure.
COO of Facebook, billionaire, no big deal, right? His other brother is a doctor at UCLA and a professor at UCLA.
That's like the lowest, you know? It's like, ugh.
Right, a doctor. Yep. The third brother is John Bernthal. Also Wind River, by the way.
Yep.
Wind River,
Great movie.
great in that. Then his uncle, his grandfather, Murray Bernthal, was a violin prodigy as a child who went on to play basketball at Syracuse University. Okay. His cousin, Adam Schlesinger,
This is the most Jewish family ever. Bernthals and the Schlesingers. Holy shit.
Schlesinger is the founding member of Fountains of Wayne. Stacy's mom has got it going on because Adam said so.
Yep.
He also wrote That Thing You Do, a Tom Hanks movie.
The greatest fake song of all time.
He's like a music icon who also passed away from COVID in April, RIP. And finally, his wife's uncle. His wife is named, I believe it's Erica, or I forget exactly what it is, but some standard name, Angle, because her father's brother is Kurt Angle, the guy who won an Olympic gold medal with a broken fucking neck and then went on to be a hot star in the WWE. That's all in the same family.
The Kurt Angle twist is unbelievable. Like, you go to Thanksgiving and Kurt's there. Holy shit. My family is such a bag of shit compared to that. I mean, we got nothing. Got nothing. Like, that guy, he owns like a landscaping company. It's like, great. This guy's an electrician.
You need to move mulch. You call up Ricky. He'll come set you up
and
real
he's
nice.
like the star of the family, you know? Like, fuck. We didn't do shit.
Yeah,
like, we
he
did not
employs
leave.
a lot of illegal immigrants, but still votes red.
The thought that, like, nobody in my family tree has left their mark on this world, you know? Like, we will come and go. We will be dead. Maybe one day our lineage dies out, and it will not matter. The fact that this bloodline ceases to exist does not matter. The world is probably a better off place.
Dude, I mean,
Clancy's.
I just don't even, like, it's so easy. You can make the argument that everyone in that family is the least successful person in that family.
Yeah, right.
You can make it
however you frame
can make
it.
the
Yeah.
reverse argument
Yeah.
that everyone's the most successful person in that
Right,
family.
right.
But everyone you can make an argument is either a dog shit or a king shit. It's one or the other.
Stick your finger in its ass. Jesus Christ.
All right, next up.
We'll do a little Am I the Asshole?
Am I the Asshole?
Am I the Asshole is brought to you by Screwball Whiskey. You an asshole? Are you a little bit of an outsider? People ever go, you know, that guy's he's kind of an asshole. Get some Screwball Whiskey in you. Get some Screwball Whiskey. It's for the when someone says, like, I don't have a drink. I need like a signature drink. I never know what to order. You're a Screwball Whiskey guy. Just go up there, order a Screwball Whiskey. You could drink it straight. It's peanut butter flavored whiskey, so it's got a nice, smooth flavor to it. Or you can mix it.
You can look the badass part.
You can. If you want to drink it neat, you want to drink it on the rocks.
Bite face
Right. You can sip it smooth and be like, yeah, that's right. It's like, it's because you're eating peanut butter. Tastes good. I've never understood why whiskey has to taste the way it tastes. I never understood why some of these other brands like go down like fucking hot, warm, and got bite to it, and everybody still does it. Why don't we put a little peanut butter in the mix? It tastes good if you're drinking it straight. It tastes even better if you're mixing it up. You can have it a little adult dessert with a scoop of ice cream. You can make a whiskey milkshake out of it. You could do a little peanut butter and jelly. You could do with the transfusion mix. You could do the peanut butter and jelly. Any sort of peanut butter savory mix with juice flavors, fruit flavors, all of that pairs very well with some Screwball whiskey. So you can enjoy this cocktail. You can enjoy it as a cocktail. You can enjoy it as a shot. You can enjoy it any which way. It's the best flavored whiskey out there, award winning as a matter of fact. And right now, it's available near you. You can pick up Screwball Whiskey at the local store or get it delivered today. #GetScrewed. Go to screwballwhiskey.com for more info and click on Buy Now. Please drink responsibly. Advertisement by Screwball Spirits, LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey and natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume. Go get your Screwball and enjoy your cocktails. Am I the asshole for setting up a P-trap for my wife? I don't know if he's the asshole or not. I just know that you are not going to win this one, bud. You lose, sir. Hello, everyone. I'm a 39-year-old man, and I'm married to a 31-year-old woman. First, sorry about the, quote, P-trap terminology. Her words, not mine. Ever since my wife and I were just dating, she tried to be very insistent that I sit down to urinate. I do not want to sit down to urinate, and so I do not. I'm already coming around on him.
Yeah.
Frankly, I don't think it's any of her business how I pee anyway. Correct. For years now, and especially lately, every time she goes to the bathroom, she does this crazy-eyed thing where she looks down at the floor, groans, then pulls out paper towels and cleaning spray to wipe it up. I do not pee on the floor and never have, but she calls it a splash mountain regularly. Recently, I had something of a revelation when, as usual, we were all having an argument about this topic, and she said that all men pee on the floor every time they go to the restroom. It seems like she is outright hell-bent on proving a point. Anyway, the other day, I had had enough. I went to the restroom, stood over the toilet for a minute, closed the lid, and flushed. Then called her in. I asked her to point to where I had peed because I'm not trying to change my behavior. And in a couple seconds, she pointed a spot and said, there. The spot was clean. I hadn't used the bathroom since the day before. I told her as much. She then got incredibly upset. She said I set a pee trap and that what I did was really mean to her. Then she insisted that every time I go to the bathroom, I pee on the floor again. I've had enough. I think she's just trying to get out of the fact that I caught her in crap. But she has doubled down on her behavior and is completely convinced that I'm a relentless asshole. I love this guy, and I take back everything I said. He wins.
I
Caught
think
this bitch red-handed.
nobody's the asshole here because she's right.
I don't think she is.
Oh, yeah. You pee everywhere.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I mean, you get most of it in the toilet. Don't get me wrong.
I don't think you pee everywhere at all.
The bathroom, there's a reason it's tile floors because it's the pee room. We're going to get pee on the floor.
I mean, you can get it on the floor. Every time? Certainly not.
No, not every time, but it's
I would
pretty
say the majority of the time, I'm in the toilet.
In fact, like, I mean, let's go to the Barstool bathroom right now.
whatever goes on here is insanity.
There's piss everywhere.
I mean, you see footprints.
Yeah,
and, like,
I mean, this place is covered in piss.
there are people in this office. I don't know who. I'm gonna have to set my own pee trap and catch them. Who I think just pee on the floor.
Yeah.
like they stand in front of the urinal and they just go, you know what? Nope, I'm gonna back up and just piss on the floor instead.
There are humongous
sticky
puddles.
spots and puddles everywhere.
Yeah, it's bananas.
Disgusting.
And I don't notice it so much in my home, so maybe I'm just more accurate peer than everyone else here.
Bro, when you're peeing into a toilet, as long as the water's not high, you're good.
Yeah, but you'll probably, I mean, when you flick it, right, and it kind of fucking sprays a bit. Like, yeah, look, it's probably not even a discernible amount you're getting on the ground.
Yes.
But there's a little bit of pee getting on the ground.
You're not enough to demand I pee sitting down.
No, because I don't pee.
If I'm going to pee sitting down, it's going to be on my own accord, lady.
In fact, I think it's bizarre how many men do pee sitting down. I think it's like always, like, it was always back in the Barstool Confessions days. It was always a confession. If I'm tired, I sit down and pee. If I'm hungover, I sit down and pee. I don't fucking do that. I pee standing up.
I have on
every single time.
a very infrequent occasion I've done it. But
I like to keep these cheeks clean. If I don't have to sit, I don't fucking sit.
I mean, I'm definitely not doing that in a public spot.
No,
maybe at home. Or sometimes you think you're going to go, you sit down, and you don't, you just pee, and you're like, all right, well, whatever, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, some guys seem to really love it. I don't know about that, but I don't care. If you want me, if I pee standing up and you want me to sit down, I want to pee standing up. If I pee sitting down and you want me to stand up, I just don't want you telling me how to pee.
Yeah.
It's none of your fucking business.
Yeah. And you probably would have an argument with me if you said I have to start putting the seat up because I don't do that very often.
When I learned, like, why do you think that women want you to put the seat?
No, they want to put
down?
it down. I'm saying you probably want me to pick it up because I don't pick it up.
No,
I just fucking pee.
That's what's so funny.
That's how you know, like, you're addicted to future John problems, because I look at that and I get into the bathroom, and as long as the top seat is already up, you know, the cover is already up, I go,
I'm gonna pee on that thing.
I could bend over a little bit and save myself some time in a minute,
right?
Or I could just
in a second
pee,
or
no, I mean like in 1
minute from now,
one minute from now, I will be saving myself some time, or I can just pee. And then once I pee all over this fucking seat,
get out the paper towel,
I'll wipe
the
it up
toilet
and clean
paper,
it.
and then I have to
Every single time I opt to clean my toilet afterwards.
Me too. The other day,
no sense.
John. The other day, I just blasted the back of my seat I'm at home, not at work. I mean, I just peed all over the seat. It was like, you know, sometimes where I don't know, it's clogged in the front or something. It just go, boing, it comes out hot. I mean, it was everywhere, and I was like. And I mean, I had to do a full-blown cleaning job instead of just lifting it. You know, we just don't. That's the laziness of man can be summed up best in that one spot.
Yeah,
but
I don't know where my money is. I don't know
how to
what
pee.
to do with towed cars, and I'm not lifting the seat.
When I found out, whenever they were like, "We want you to put the seat down," I was always like, "That's crazy. That's like we pee on it." I would have thought that their gripe would have been that they want us to put it up.
Yeah.
And then when they come in. When I read like on the internet and heard that it was because they fall into the toilet,
yes,
that's the most insane thing I've ever heard.
It's
Girls are mad at us that they walk into the bathroom, I guess maybe sometimes at night when it's dark,
vagina out.
and just blindly sit down
Like you have
before checking if there's a seat. Like I could understand if you were like, well, I just assume that the seat's down, but it's like, but I don't know. What about other shit that might be there? You have to look where you're about to sit. What if there was a fucking snake there? What if there was a trap set? You can't just blindly be plopping down and be like, I fell in the toilet because I didn't look what was beneath me before I put my body there. That's insanity.
You have two exposed holes that things can go into.
take care of that.
You're just gonna sit on whatever without
Nuts.
even looking.
What if earlier that day a plumber had been by and he left his fucking tool set on the fucking seat of the toilet and you sat down and you got a wrench up your pussy? Who knows? You have to look where you're sitting.
Women are always saying like,
I fell in the toilet.
Men can't be trusted. Men are trash. Men are this. Don't trust us then. Don't trust us in the bathroom.
Always assume it's open.
Right.
It's up. You have to put it down.
Have some fucking sense of the moment. No, I am sitting pussy out right now.
Crazy.
I should make sure nothing's gonna come inside me.
Could you imagine in anything? by
Go
the way?
inside me. It didn't even come.
inside me.
I don't know. Maybe
Maybe.
there's a fucking guy sitting on the thing. I don't know.
Could you imagine in any scenario, just walking up to a seat of some sort and just blindly plopping down? You always look where you're about to sit and make sure you're going to land on the surface you expect to land on. It's nuts. I thought, if anything, their gripe should be, you put the seat up always so you don't piss all over it, and then I will put it down, and I know that I'm putting down a clean seat every time. But no, we're falling into the toilet. I'll tell you this much. If you are an adult person, woman or man, and you ever find yourself falling into a toilet, that is your fucking fault.
Yeah.
The moment that you are ass in a bucket of water with your legs out and you're like, oh, I fell in the toilet, and you try to blame that on someone else, that's ridiculous.
We live in the age of personal responsibility, and I demand it from females.
You got your own bank accounts now. You've had them since 75. You can certainly figure out how to sit down on the toilet properly. Shit.
And I'll tell you what, for this guy too, this is how you know you're not the asshole, I suppose. Because if you're in a fight with a lady and she's legitimately angry, you won.
Yes.
Because that's how.
Yes. Anytime a girl is angry, because he's like, you got me.
Yeah.
And
like,
boy, I mean, if you
and he got her.
And there's a difference between like, I have won this logical debate. I've hit you with points that are like, I win the discussion, versus I have the like legal court of law evidence. Like, I set you up,
right,
and there's no possible way it could be this, you know? I've done that before. I've gotten a girl before, and like,
it is so rare that like you vividly remember.
Rage. Like blind rage. Talking George Brett Pinetar rage. And it's like I was like, it couldn't have been possible because that wasn't even whatever it was. And it was like so satisfying. But it does kind of go back to what I said in the beginning. If you're gonna be married or you're in a relationship, you don't really win. You win. You won the argument, but like, this girl is gonna fucking cause a scene until you just
acquiesce. Yeah, congratulations, you win. Now you're getting a divorce.
She's taking half. You're never gonna fuck again, and she might divorce you. You win, you know. So, you know, even when you win, you lose. But I think that she is the asshole. I don't think there's enough pee. Assuming this guy is competent, there could be a little bit of pee. To claim that there's enough pee to like demand someone,
but again,
urinate a certain way.
Even if there is a little bit of pee,
but
that's why we fucking make everything fucking
tile. Yeah,
tiles, because it's gonna evaporate.
But
the pee evaporates in the pee room.
It's
like a sauna of pee.
To ever demand anybody pee a certain way, or do any of their bathroom stuff a certain way, the only thing I'm going to demand is that you dry your fucking self off. Other than that, everybody in the bathroom can do whatever they want.
I also have a demand. Hey, ladies, stop with the faucet.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. We know what you're doing in there.
You're peeing.
You're just making it a megaphone.
Yes. Now I know. Now
I know you're taking a shit.
Now my wheels are spinning. I'm either like, are you pooping, or does she pee with such force that she needs to hide something? We've talked about this to a million times on KFC radio how we don't understand how women pee, and it's that of a leaky faucet. So now you're turning on an actual faucet, and you're just doubling the sounds of faucets. Now I'm just hearing a twice as loud faucet. You idiots.
Like, what could you possibly think you're covering up in there? Like, all right, if I hear a sick crying, I'm like, well, they're taking a dump. Okay.
I mean, yeah, if you're going to go in there, see, that's the thing. Anything that's loud enough and disturbing enough to us, the faucet is not going to overcome.
No,
you know?
right.
If I hear you fart into a empty toilet bowl, so it's a cacophony of fart noise, like it multiplies and megaphones it, magnifies it, then, you know, the little is not going to do anything. Now I just hear a faucet running and a girl farting. Okay?
That's why I fucking am smart. I only poop when I have to shower. Put the shower.
Always run the shower.
Put the shower on,
Yeah.
get the music going.
Yeah.
Guess who's in the
yeah.
fucking cone of silence
Right.
now?
Guess who's taking a 45-minute shower? No, I was pooping for 20. I'm jerking off for 15. I showered for 5. But I do think if I was there should be maybe like, you know what you know how my idea is like automatic prenups, so you never have to have the awkward conversation. What if just like every bathroom, like when you turn the light on, music plays. There's always music playing. And then a girl never has to worry about turning on the faucet, and guys don't have to worry about like farting. It's just like when I go into the bathroom, top 40 plays.
I love that idea.
Right? If the light's on, well, I guess at night would be tough if you like go to pee in the middle of the night. But I don't know.
I see.
You know?
The issue here is what we're running into is an episode I referenced earlier. We're running into the sunny bathroom situation where they're trying to fix it, where they make just screams.
That's the Aaron Ryan episode, right? It's one of my
Ryan, yeah.
favorite episodes ever. It's just moaning and groaning in pain.
It's like banshees. Like,
So fucking funny.
Frank comes out with a paper. Could you hear anything? Couldn't hear a thing.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I guess at the end of the day, it would be better if we could just all agree that like the sound of liquid trickling into other liquids not that bad. You know, it's like not that big of a deal. You know, you got to
just
control
animals dumping in a shit house.
You got. You do have to control your fart noises. We should all put in an effort to control our fart noises.
It's another issue we're running into here at the Barstool Sports bathroom. I hear motherfuckers in there. Okay, well, all right, we're getting a lot of bathroom talk here, but I don't care.
Nothing. I don't care what you're going to tell me. Nothing will compare to that Frank the Tank shit.
So
whatever you're going to tell me,
it's a continuation of it.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, I mean, twice today I've walked into the bathroom to not only hear farts and plops, but grunts. And it's like, bro, you heard me come in.
Yeah.
Just fucking shut up and be invisible for a second while I take my piss.
And also,
I'll get the fuck out of here.
Get some goddamn fiber in your system. These people in there who are like, I'm like, whoa. It's like that Austin Powers fucking scene.
Yeah.
Like, hang on to this, partner. We're going to get through this. Jiminy Cricket. Have some couth.
Have some food.
All right. Voicemail time. Let's go. Voicemails today are brought to you by Proactive. Proactive is the #1 acne brand for Americans, adults 18 to 34. If you've got acne and you want clear skin, you can check out the Proactive website, become a Proactive subscriber, and whatever your situation is with your skin, you can rectify it. It can be, they have 3 levels. They have, consider it like small, medium, and large. Consider it, bad, worstest, because nobody wants any pimples in their life. But sometimes it's just, the occasional pimple, the occasional smattering of acne. And for that, you can get the Proactive solution. That's the original system. It's suitable for all skin types. Then maybe sometimes it's tougher, right? You got sensitive skin. You need to go the extra mile. For that, you have Proactive Plus. And then there's Proactive MD, which is the prescription strength for the stubborn breakouts where you're talking about, the deep acne where you're getting scarring. I saw a TikTok the other day of this girl who was like, here's my skin, and here's like it was like a time-lapse video and update videos. And I mean, she had, the red, looked like the Milky Way of pimples, red and everything. Cleared up her skin, probably using Proactive, and she became an absolute dime by the end of it. So if you got issues like that and you feel like it's hopeless, because I'm sure sometimes you got really bad acne, especially as an adult, you feel like, well, what?
I've had this fucking little thing on my lip for like...
Oh, the worst, man. Or the one, like, if you get one on like the inside of your nose
yeah.
the nostril, it feels like your nose, it feels like someone punched you in the fucking nose.
It's literally all you think about the entire day.
Yeah. Oh, and then you get fixated on popping it or getting rid of it, so you squeeze it and you touch it, and then it just makes it worse. Like if you can't pop a pimple, don't try. You know, it's either pops or it doesn't.
But then
you
it becomes
keep trying, and you're
Well, now I have a cut on my face.
and you know it will be satisfying if you get it, so you want to. But then you just have this like red mountain on your face that's gonna just eventually bleed. So just leave it to the doctors and the professionals, and leave it to Proactive. Right now, you can go to proactive.com. That's PROACTIV, no E on the end. .com/KFC radio, and you will get the Hydrating Duo free gift. That includes 4 hydrogel masks. I love a good mask. And the green tea moisturizer. So you get yourself some nice lotion. That's proactive.com/KFC radio. Fix up your skin issues, get your free gifts, get your masks, get your moisturizers, and have nice skin. Guys, too, like, fellas, having nice skin, having soft skin, having clean, clear skin, it's a good thing. It's a turn on. It's one of the few things you can control. You can't control your height. You can't control, you can't kind of control your hair, but you can control your skin. You can have nice skin by going to proactive.com/KFC radio. Those pimples, man, when you have them in your nose, oh my God.
Suicide's the only escape.
Tom Segura played this thing on his live show. It was a guy, like, it looked like a little pimple, and a big pimple. And then he like popped it, and it left a fucking hole in his face. Like it was one of those like an iceberg, It was like a little thing. Oh, and have you ever heard of salivary stones?
No.
You gotta watch.
No,
This.
I'm
Yeah,
not,
no, you gotta watch. This.
I won't.
You gotta watch it.
I won't.
You have to.
No, dude, come on. I puked yesterday.
You gotta watch this. You gotta watch this.
I honestly don't know how much of this I'm gonna watch.
It's quick. I've never even heard of this one, a salivary stone. Have you?
No.
I
don't like the pimple popper shit.
It happens under your tongue. It looks like a fucking horn came out of his mouth. Watch this. All he did was flex his tongue. And it just comes out. This is so funny. It's like Bert just did this to Tom a minute ago. And he was like, what the fuck is... Watch it. Did you see it come out?
Oh, God, dude.
Imagine having that under your tongue. It's like an antler. It's like a rock hard antler, and it was under his tongue, and then it just came out like a dog getting an erect dick.
Oh.
Crazy, huh?
Voicemails, please.
Voicemails.
Oh, I'm so bad at that stuff, especially with a mouth.
A mouth. Let's go, Nick.
KFC, Feits, Nick, whoever else is behind the booth. What's up? First time, long time. Got a little bit of a hypothetical for you. So let's say you have a life sentence in jail, like you're never getting out. How long would it take you to willingly receive a blowjob from another like inmate?
Jesus
so
Christ.
No like Cockney sandwich, no Harold Kumar shit, just straight up. How long would it take for you before you were like, you know what, I need my dick sucked? All right, Diva.
Probably before they fingerprinted me.
I mean, I guess if it's truly a life sentence, it's like, well, who cares?
No, see, I that was obviously a joke, but like, I don't think. Now,
Would you want to get your dick sucked by a guy?
I don't think I would. I don't think I would need sex. We've obviously gone down this road before. I enjoy sex, but I don't. I am not. I'm going to come out and say I'm not a sex addict.
Yeah.
And I don't think now I could be forced into some situations where I didn't have much of a choice, and that's a different situation. But if it was just up to me, if I had my druthers, I think I would just become celibate. I would just jerk off, and I would be fine.
I'm gonna come out and say it. I am a sex addict. You can do that if you wanted to. You could.
No, I know, but I enjoy. Like, look, if there's some guy who's there who's like, I really like that guy to suck my dick, I'd let him. But
wait, so you would do it or you wouldn't do it? I'm confused.
I probably wouldn't. But I don't need to have sex. I just enjoy having sex with the people I have sex with. So if there's some guy there's,
I wonder though if you were staring down the barrel and never doing it again. You're a guy who's been able to get laid enough your whole life, you know. You're like, I'm never gonna fuck again. It might be a different story.
Yeah, probably. But also like that, like when I'm faced with such a monstrous task, a mountainous task, I'm usually just fuck it.
I think
I'll go back to bed.
I think what I've learned from Wallow is that the ingenuity these guys come up with the fake pussies is probably the route I would go. I would probably be like trading cartons of cigarettes for the guy who can make like the best fake pussy in the world.
I don't even need that.
You just jerk off?
I've used fake pussies. They're fine.
Yeah.
It's easier just to fuck my hand.
Yeah. Yeah, easier for sure, but I don't know. Eventually, you're like, I want to.
I want to feel some plastic. I want this dick to go into one of those little fucking jelly finger things, whatever they are. Remember those?
Oh yeah. I definitely remember those.
You fucked it?
Yeah.
You fucked it?
Yeah.
I never fucked it.
Why not?
I mean, it wasn't like
If you were of age and you had that thing, you didn't fuck
I think
it,
I was
you're
probably
gay.
too. I think I was probably just too young.
Like
You were fucking children's toys is the problem with you.
you gotta like squeeze the other end of it because it kind of like
Yeah,
couldn't really fuck
would
it.
roll,
Yeah. You had to like hold it so it stopped rolling so I can fuck this thing.
Quit squirming.
Chasing it down the hall.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't think I'd ever seek it out. Put it this way: if I ever woke up in the middle of the night on death row, getting my dick sucked, I'd probably be like, "Finish up." What's that? Is that Dane Cook joke? Like, finish up and get the hell out of here. Go ahead.
See, I think basically it would be come down to me. It would be I need to be wooed.
Oh, you want to be
I would
you
have
want him to romance you.
Yeah, there would be a courtship.
You want to be like, let me get that. I want that dick.
Yeah, it would be like like
I want
a
you to
real
come
like
in his mouth.
like a courtship. Like I want him to show
Well,
me.
I don't think that's happening. in prison.
he likes me and that he really is interested in sucking my dick. And then
Are you interested in what I have to say?
Basically, I'd be like a woman at a bar where
Yeah,
it was like,
yeah.
all right. I mean, you seem
At
nice
least buy me a
enough.
drink.
You put in a good amount of effort here, so whatever. Fine, we can fuck. Like, just put me in a position where it would be rude not to let you suck my dick,
And then you
I
have
get a
to.
blowjob.
Then I'll get my dick
Yeah.
sucked.
Like basically say hi to me.
We went full circle there.
We went from a courtship to say
hi.
hello.
Just don't beat me in prison, and you can blow me.
I mean, that's just how. I mean, that's how I am. I feel like if you're polite,
I feel like we'd be giving them, not getting them.
if you, yeah, yeah,
I know I would.
They wouldn't be fucking.
God, man,
They'd be violent.
Remember
They
in
would be
25th Hour where they said that they just knock all your teeth out?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like in that case, I think I'd be like, I'll just blow you.
Yeah.
You don't have to
But-
knock my teeth out with a bat. I won't give you toothy head. I'll give you good head.
No, but I think they knock them out so you can't bite it off.
Oh, yeah, that makes
Yeah. So I think I'd just be like,
Oh.
look, I'm
promise I won't bite
ready
it
and willing, sir. Put the copperhead away.
off. I promise I won't bite. Shit.
KFC, Feits, BC, Nick. First time, long time. I have a Am I the Asshole for you. So last week I was hooking up with this chick that I met on Hinge, and we'd been seeing for about a month and a half. After we were done hooking up, we were cleaning up, and there were more used condoms on the ground than I had used. I said to her, I didn't use these extra condoms, and it became awkward very quickly. And she said that she hadn't had any other guys in her bed, so she doesn't know how they would be there. I finished up, cleaning up, and I left pretty quickly. And the next day, she called me and we talked, and she told me that she didn't like that I accused her of hooking up with other people. I said I didn't accuse you of anything. The only thing I said was I didn't use these extra dirty condoms, because I didn't. Anyway, we probably aren't going to hang out anymore, but the two questions that I had for you were, am I the asshole for saying something about the extra dirty condoms? We weren't dating, but had been steadily hanging out 2 to 3 times a week for about a month and a half. And I didn't accuse her of anything. I just pointed out the fact that I had not used these extra dirty condoms. And then also, what is the most awkward hookup situation or after hookup situation that either of you have been, involved with?
So,
right.
so wait, just to be clear, like this guy just found used condoms that he knows he didn't use.
Yeah, bro, are you fucking in a crack den?
Like where are there just condoms strewn about everywhere?
How many condoms did you use?
Yeah,
How
yeah.
Many,
And
you
why
just
are they-
use one, right?
Also, by the way, well, you use one per time.
Right, but then you don't leave the other one on the fucking floor.
Like anytime, if I can remember way back when, I take it off, I wrap it up in some toilet paper, and I put it in the fucking trash can in the fucking in the bathroom.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
they're
I think
not,
we've
like-
said this before. I'm pretty sure I flush them.
Right, which I don't think you're supposed to do. I think that creates the fatbergs.
Right, yes,
Yeah.
correct. We've definitely had this conversation. Yeah.
But
Heidelberg's responsible for fat pigs.
yes, definitely remember that. So maybe I don't wrap it up. Maybe you could see one in the toilet. But like to be like, all right, we had sex 3 times this week. There's 3. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like
he's still not even saying, but he's not even saying in the trash. They're strewn about the room.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
That is horrifying.
But you know what? In that case, then it's like, if I was that girl, I'd be like, look in this bedroom, man. There's fucking cum everywhere. Of course I'm fucking other guy. Like, if we're at the point where you're just counting the number of used condoms on the floor, I don't think we should even care if I'm seeing other people.
Yeah, we have other issues to get
bigger
to
fish
first.
to fry.
And I hate what you're doing here, bud. I didn't accuse you of anything.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, you did.
We know what you're implying.
You accused me of it.
Yeah.
If there's 2 of us in a room and you say, "Did you do this?"
Right.
You're accusing me of doing it
because
you're saying
whoever smelled the Delta.
Right, you're assuring you haven't done it.
Yeah.
So therefore you're accusing me.
For sure. That's like the Donald Trump like, if I'm not going to say it, but if I was going to but I guess like she's fucking other dudes.
Yeah.
So like
I
be an
don't
idiot.
know. Maybe she's not. Maybe
other people are fucking.
Maybe you just lost track of how many condoms you left on her fucking floor.
I do feel like it's I take the condom off. I know where I put it. If there's one in the other corner of the other room, I'd be like, that wasn't me. I feel like you would know.
I mean, the room I'm envisioning is
like Jesse in Breaking Bad, just like
I was gonna
graffiti
say
and needles.
The room
and,
from 7.
Yeah.
The one with the guy tied to the bed with just fucking just dirty condoms hanging all over the
and
fucking
shit. Yeah,
house.
yeah.
I guess I am picturing a legitimate trap house. Mattress on the floor, fucking no bed sheets,
maybe a dead body.
Yeah, it's just this disgusting.
And you have to
room.
fuck someone with a knife trapped to your dick. You know? Yeah.
No, I was talking about the other guy, the guy who's already dead, and they had.
I know, but I'm just throwing everything.
Yeah,
there's a head in a box.
Literally every scene from 7.
Yeah,
and her nose is missing. But the
but
I think that this could be a. This is who you're having sex with is the most depressed person on the planet Earth, I think, because if you leave anything bedside, that's how you know your depression session.
Because you can't even get out. You can't even go the extra 10 steps to get rid of it.
I got bags of chip bedside.
Yeah.
I got fucking glasses of water.
Yeah.
I got water bottles. That's when I'll come in my room. I'll be like,
I'm
you gotta
not even
clean
trying.
up, buddy.
Yeah,
You are
not even trying.
And she's just getting fucking not loads dumped in her, and then just fucking slinging these things around, and you're like, well, wherever that goes, is where it stays.
You are talking to the man. You should just throw them out the window of the garage. So
yeah.
Who knows
I
better?
know you noticed I had the hand.
Yeah, he knows.
Right
Fucking David and Goliath with the slingshot there. I once I'm getting my nose is getting stuffed up as I'm doing this podcast. So if I'm talking like this, that's why. My girlfriend in college, on again, off again after college, once found a birth control, like the packet, the thing that looks like a makeup case that you put it in.
Polly Pocket.
That was in like a duffel bag that I grabbed from my house. And I don't know. I don't think it was my mom. I don't know, my sister. I don't know where it came from, but I absolutely know for a fact it was not a girl. And I was not sleeping with anybody else other than her. And she was like real quiet, all night. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, I know I haven't done anything wrong here. As a matter of fact, we had just gotten back together. So that's probably why she thought something was going on. But I was happy to be back together. So I was like, I hadn't been fucking around. Nothing was happening. And then she finally was like, what's this? And I was like, oh, thank God. That's fucking, I don't know what that, but I had no answer either.
Right.
But I was so relieved that I was just it was obvious. I was like, I don't know where you found that, but I promise you it's not that. And I think it was such a genuine
I was going to say, I
reaction
feel like
by
when
me.
you have literally no answer, that's the best case.
Right.
Where
If you
it's
have an excuse on deck, it'd be bizarre, you know? It's
I literally don't know where that came from.
Right.
I don't know
No
what to tell
shot.
you.
It's somehow stuck in, but that
It's
that doesn't
it's a
sound
Polly
great
Pocket.
either. But yeah. Why do you have little children's toys? I don't know, but I'm not fucking anybody. I know that much. So yeah, you have any of that? Any of those?
I don't. I mean, I had obviously my my cleaning lady who was trying to fuck me over.
Definitely.
But that was the same thing. That was it was like a pair of underwear or it was like a small T-shirt or something. It was like, who's this? I was like, I literally have no idea.
That was Caitlin's.
I could not tell you.
Remember
what it
that
was.
when she said it was Caitlin's?
Oh yeah,
that's even better.
Like, oh, this must be Caitlin. What are you fucking talking about? I don't know Caitlin.
The one name you can't use, too, you know what I mean? Out of all the other names in the world.
It was that wasn't Caitlin's shirt. That was she just when I went to the
Yeah, she just said
with
the
my
name.
girlfriend, she-
Yeah.
and
Was
this
that
must be
Caitlin?
Caitlin. I'm
Yeah.
like, the fuck would I be talking to you about any girl I'm sleeping with for? You're
Right.
my laundry lady.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, I used to go to weekly and just haven't seen her in a year.
How about this? She might be dead.
Well, no, I think she thinks I'm dead.
Oh, you just
Because
don't go
I
anymore?
moved.
Oh, right.
So I went
right.
home in the pandemic and then I moved.
I love that. I love thinking about that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, what are those people at your favorite bar, at your favorite corner spot? They're just like, that guy's gone.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you guys the update? Remember there was a case.
I actually did go say goodbye to the guys I bought tins from, but I didn't go say goodbye to.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you? I think I mentioned this like at least in the past year. There was a KFC radio intern named Harry one time that he just stopped. My brother, it was early on. He just stopped. No email, no nothing. And my brother was like, I think like something happened to him. And like just like a couple months ago, he finally reconnected. It was like, I feel like an asshole. I just like ghosted you guys. I didn't want to do it anymore, but I didn't know like how to say anything. And he just didn't want to send the awkward email. And part of me was like, I respect that.
Yeah.
You were so eager to avoid an awkward conversation that you just let us assume you were dead. That is a
We joked about it
the,
extensively on the podcast.
Right,
And you
just-
didn't have any need
you
to
heard that, and
clear
we're
it
just
up.
like, I'm not gonna read. I mean, I guess at that point you should just ride it out because being like, hey, I'm the guy who was so socially awkward, you assumed I was dead, and I don't want to own up to that either.
Right.
If you were afraid to send the first email, you're probably definitely afraid to send that one. Last voicemail of the day is brought to you by Liquid IV. If you're going through, the gauntlet that is Christmas parties, holiday parties, where it feels like in the month of December, every other day you're drinking. It is imperative that you fight through your hangovers. Give me that bag right there. We got it right on deck. Liquid IV, the hydration multiplier right there. So you pop this bag open. You've got some of the, you got these pouches here with a little bit of powder. You fill it up in the water. And next thing you know, you have, it's like multiplying water. It's almost like you're Jesus, except you're turning water into more water.
Ooh,
Right?
yeah.
You don't have to drink more water. You're just getting like water on steroids. It has 2 to 3 times the amount of hydration that a regular 16 ounces of water will have when you pour it in here. It's the hydration multiplier.
Liquid IV, step into the divine.
Right? Ooh, I like that. 3 times the electrolytes, 5 times the essential vitamins, great taste, and you're going to be able to perform better, whether you are out there drinking and need to get rid of your hangover, whether you're just out in the sun and you're sweating, whether you're traveling, whether it's just you're trying to be, healthy in the time of COVID. Liquid IV is the best way to make sure you stay hydrated. When you get older, you learn that being hydrated is like not only the most important thing, it's like the only thing that matters. It's honestly,
Well, I don't have to wash my face. I drink enough water.
you greasy face fuck. It's honestly like, you need oxygen and you need water. And if you don't drink water, it's like, could you just stop breathing? No. Like you need both of those things equally. And this is, like I said, double the water, extra water for your system. Go to liquidiv.com, use code KFC at checkout, and get 25% off when you purchase anything on their site. You can also go to Walmart or anywhere that beverages are sold, but liquidiv.com, promo code KFC, 25% off anything in the website.
What's up, KFC Fights? First time, long time. So I was thinking about, I was watching Blade as a kid. I don't know, I was like 8 years old, and they were about to go fight some vampires or whatever, and the girl was in the backseat of her car, and she pulled her headphones up, threw the back of her shirt, and wrapped it around her ears, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever. And then exclusively after that, I only wore headphones up through the back of my shirt and wrapped around my ears. So it got me thinking, what's something that you saw in a movie or a TV show and you thought, that's the way I'm going to do that for the rest of my life? Thanks.
I mean, boy, that guy has a low bar for, he says it's the coolest thing I've ever seen.
I mean, I can picture it. It's pretty cool.
You think so?
I think so.
I've seen it before. I don't think anything of it. I think it's actually kind of inconvenient.
I think it's definitely inconvenient, but cool.
Yes.
Inconvenience is often cool.
Like sneaking
or cool is often inconvenient.
Sneaking
Much
your
like beauty
wires
hurts.
up your shirt. I'm going to vote not cool on that one, but what's something? I feel like I've definitely popped a toothpick in the mouth every now and then based on
Okay.
seeing guys. Like, I can't pick a specific one, but I definitely feel like that's been, a thing, a toothpick.
I would probably go easy and just go
Clothing
binge
style.
drinking.
Binge drinking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
binge drinking looks pretty fucking awesome.
I've never really succumbed to smoking cigarettes, but people make smoking in movies look really cool.
Smoke. I mean, even like drugs.
Yeah.
Basically, like I mean, pick something about me. I stole that from a movie.
Yeah,
Okay.
right. Or I mean, maybe movie.
Everything I do.
but just like pop culture, like maybe not a movie, but like I saw that actor walking down the street wearing that, so I wore it.
Right.
Like it doesn't necessarily be a fictional thing, but all of those people control everything about my style, my behavior, my decorum, my vocabulary, my likes,
Anything
my
about
dislikes.
me you find remotely desirable or interesting, it's just something I saw or read along the way.
And it probably can be traced back to like Brad Pitt, George Clooney, Leo DiCaprio, Shia LaBeouf, Jonah Hill, Channing Tatum. That's about it.
Oh,
There's like 8 guys.
Did you say McConaughey?
McConaughey for sure. You know, there's probably a team of like 10 that like decided. I that would be a cool thing to like study if you could take the time to really figure it out. I bet you there's like 10 guys who set the trends of the last like 30 years.
Yeah.
And 10 guys before that. But I bet you there's always like a crew of people that's like this. All these things can be traced back to like just these guys right here. You know?
Yeah. Well, it's the gazelle argument.
Yeah.
And it's just human. So you have the 10 gazelles in the world, right? Or whatever there are, 4 gazelles, 5 gazelles.
Yeah.
And then the rest of humanity is just a Frankenstein's monster of gazelle.
Yes, right,
Like,
right.
I'm
All
just,
an
I'm
amalgam
just trying
of
to
them.
make myself look like a gazelle.
And you know what the worst like thing is like trying to be gazelle when you're not. You know what I mean? That's why when you see people trying to pull off like some of the fashion stuff, it's like he can do that, not you.
I'm a
you know?
gazelle with like a penguin foot and a beetle dick.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't make fucking sense. I just sewed it all together. And I'm like,
Right.
this is how I'm trying to be. Isn't
I'm
this
cool.
interesting?
I look like them, right? Nope. Nope.
That's like you almost get drunk on it and you forget
Yeah.
where you got this from, where you got
Yes.
that from.
Yeah.
Except for when you leave movies. When you leave a movie, like
You're doing something immediately.
I mean, I'm immediately doing something.
yeah.
Being like,
Or
that was so bad.
talking with that like their accent, or
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
the word that they say, like that's everybody. That's everything. Whether or not you can pinpoint it, I don't know. Maybe some people can. This guy with the headphones, whatever. But I would love to.
Wasn't
I'll
that
give
an
it some
idea
thought.
we had, like the psychological study, where it was like you could do decide what movie characters created your personality?
Yeah.
And we're gonna send
the
letters to
BuzzFeed-
everybody in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Be like,
Fill out this questionnaire.
Yeah.
Return it back.
This
but it
was
would
created
be,
by a psychiatrist, and if you could just fill out this questionnaire for no money whatsoever, send it back. We're gonna put it into a system. We're gonna tell everyone
we shall profit.
Yeah.
You shall not.
how much of their personality is based on what character.
But I bet you if we could do that again, it would be like, 89% of everything came from these 6 guys.
Yeah.
But tweet at us at KFC Radio. What are some cool things you saw in movies that you figured, you're never doing anything the same way ever again? All right, let's get into it with our interviews. First up, Glenn Howerton.
Sure.
Glenn Howerton, brought to you by Miller Lite. Now, we've talked to Glenn before. We know that Glenn enjoys a nice cocktail, a nice drink at the end of the day. And what better than a nice cold Miller Lite to kick back and enjoy with a guy like Glenn? He's got stories for days. He's got interesting tidbits from some of the best movies and TV shows you've ever watched, a long, illustrious career with some of the best people in the business. And really, he's been like a friend of mine in my head for 2 decades,
We're 4 interviews in now. We might be actual friends.
Yeah, we're just friends now. And what do you do with friends? You drink Miller Lite with them. It's the ice cold beer with great taste, less filling that you and your friends can always enjoy in all situations, whether you're doing an interview, whether you're at the bar, whether you are.
I'm going home for a Zoom call right now. I
was gonna say,
got a
Zoom call.
happy hour with friends tonight.
There you go. You can get it delivered right to your house when you go to MillerLite.com. It'll have all the delivery options. So if you can't get out there because of COVID, you can still get your Miller Lite. It's brewed in Milwaukee, Wisconsin from the Miller Brewing Company. It's 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. And it's just the best beer for all situations. So kick back, crack one open, enjoy one while we listen to Glenn talk. You didn't fucking subscribe. So I did it. So subscribe so there's no more blood on your hands.
It was hard to hold my breath for that long.
Hey, boys.
Yo,
What's up, Glenjamin?
Hello.
If you if Glenn, wait, is your video on, Glenn?
Yeah, now it is.
There it is. Whoa! The big reveal. Tommy Shelby here. What's going on? This is nuts. Is this for Archenemy?
It's not for Archenemy. No. The truth is, I just every once in a while need to do something insane.
Oh, mission accomplished.
There really is no other explanation for it. I just every once in a while I just have to do something.
So
that
this is not even movie related. This is just you just wanted a haircut and you said shave the sides.
I just said, yeah, just shave off the sides, and I just want to feel like a new man.
You know what's bullshit is it works.
Yeah, you pull it off. That's fucking annoying.
Like every time I watch Peaky, I'm like, I'd love a haircut like that.
Yeah.
And then I have two concerns. One, I'd look like I'm in the Hitler Youth. And two is that I wouldn't be able to pull it off.
Yeah.
And here you are looking fucking great still.
It's all right. Yeah, it's okay. It's interesting. It's definitely interesting. I don't know how long I'm going to keep it for.
Probably feels great though, right? Nothing on your ears. It's so tight on the sides. That's my dream.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's fun to play with.
What goes on in the back? Does it go all the way around? I've never seen the back of Tommy Shelby. How does that? Does it come to a point? Do you just do it all the way around 360?
Yeah, it just kind of comes to a little.
Yeah.
Wow.
So what's the last previous to this? What was the other, like the latest crazy thing you did when you just had to go do something bananas?
It's been a while. Usually what I often do when I'm not working on anything, if I know I've got a lot of time before I'm going to shoot something else, is I just shave the whole thing. Mm. So I just do this to the whole thing. It's like a cleansing.
Yeah. Feels good.
See, that's another thing I'd like to do is just shave it. And I'd like to bleach it like you have it in Archenemy.
Yeah.
And I'm just always scared it's not coming back.
Yeah, me too.
Like,
Well, I used to shave it when I was like mid-20s and I was safe.
Yeah.
Now, like 30 plus, especially the dyeing, I was told, you bleach it that it just like kills your hair and it's never coming back, and I can't risk that.
Right. Yeah. No, it does start to get a little dodgy as we get older, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to keep an eye on things because, things will start to thin out without you even realizing it. I mean, I was doing this thing this morning for Entertainment Weekly, and they were showing me like a clip of something that I did on ER 17 years ago, and I was like, "Oh shit, man! Like, my hair was definitely thicker."
Yeah, right. 17 years ago, of course, it better be shit.
But at least you're skinny though. Like I can't be fat and bald, right? I can only be one or the other.
Yeah.
And like, right now I'm really holding on to fat, but I can't add bald into the mix.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's funny though, because like, I don't know if you guys feel this way, but like, when I see like dudes that are bald or dudes that like have a receding hairline or like are balding in places like what. It doesn't look bad to me. Like, I'm just like, whatever. Like it doesn't, but like the thought of me balding is like horrifying.
Yeah.
But I don't know why, because I really don't, it doesn't look that bad to me when I look at it.
It's like
You're
any
honestly,
form of dysmorphia.
You're pretty right. Like,
Yeah.
I'm never like, oh my God, look at this freak. He doesn't have hair.
Right.
So I was like, okay, yeah, that's a bald person.
But if I had that, I'd like chop my head off. I'd be like, that's it. I got to kill myself. Life's over.
Yeah. Well, I think it's also like, I don't know about you. I mean, I just went like growing up, I always had like just a giant thick head of hair. And like when I was in high school, it was like really curly and just, it was out of control how much hair I had, that I think that like a lot of my identity is is wrapped up in having like a big full head of hair. And if that went away, I'd be like, well, now what am I?
Yeah, like what? Yeah, who am I? Am I even? Do I even exist anymore? Like I don't have hair. I don't even exist.
You know who's to blame for all that is our relatives. Because I was the same way, and I had my aunts and my grandparents be like, he's such a beautiful head of hair. And then for 15 years, you hear that, and you're like, that's an important part of me.
It's mommy saying, you're the prettiest boy. You're the most. I am like the spinning image of my mom's dad. And he died with a full head of hair, and everybody has always been like, well, you're going to have hair until the day you die. And then I was like 29 and I posted a picture on the internet and everyone was like, oh, you're going bald, motherfucker. And I was like, oh shit. Cause it never even crossed my mind as a possibility because I was just told my whole life, you're going to look like him until you're dead. So then I just got on Propecia and the gummies and the shampoo.
Got super suicidal.
Yeah. I got depressed and I went to, but yeah, it's like, I feel like hair is the one thing that men, at least stereotypically speaking, rival women when it comes to looks and, the superficiality. You get a bunch of guys in a room talking about their hair, and it becomes like, oh my God, yours is so thick, your hairline's so beautiful. We become a bunch of girls talking about it. It's definitely who we are.
It is true. I don't think girls realize that we are capable of having a long conversation, even as long as this has gone on for.
Yeah.
We're about 10 minutes in.
10 minutes in right now.
Yeah. I'm like, Glenn, give me your shampoo. Give me your routine. What do you do? Yeah. Well, the hair, it's working for you. I feel like I've never seen pictures of you with your head shaved. Did you used to do that in between shooting and just kind of stay in hiding? Or am I just not remembering?
Yeah. There's one floating around out there that I think I posted on Twitter like 10 years ago. I remember my wife and I traveled all around Europe for like 3 months back in 2010. And I just didn't want to have to worry about getting a haircut on that trip. So like somewhere like, I don't know, a month into that trip, I was just like,
so freeing. So good.
There's one out there. There's one out there.
If Glenn was short for something, oh yeah, I'm looking at it right
Oh
there.
yeah,
wow.
You look fantastic
With the riot shirt and everything. Yeah, you're badass, dude. I would not fuck with that Glenn Howerton.
You look like you're Danny Vineyard's friend in American History X, and not to be fucked with.
If Glenn was short for something, would it be Glenjamin, Glennard, Glenneth? What would it be? What would you want it to be?
Let's go with Glennard Skinnard.
Glennard.
Whoa!
Glennard Skinner. I like that. Glennard Howerton. It's got a very ritzy vibe.
I've heard it all though. Growing up, Glenjamin a lot.
Yeah.
A couple of Glendolins, which I personally found quite clever.
I find it very pretty.
It's a very pretty name.
Gwendolyn. It's a beautiful name, Glenn.
Yeah, Lady Gwendolyn was like a beautiful woman, supposedly.
So we just talked to Joe Manganiello yesterday, actually, and he's coming in hot with the shaved head as well, looking pretty menacing. And
yeah, am I stealing his thunder? That was not my intention. I actually thought about that because I saw him on Instagram with a shaved head, and I was like, oh no, like he's gonna think I'm like doing his thing.
Leader. Yeah, you totally bit his style.
You don't have the same haircut.
Not at all.
They both do look menacing. They're both intimidating haircuts. But I wouldn't say you stole
the movie, though, man. It's a fucking wild one. It's a trip.
That's fun.
There is some shit in there that I don't think I've ever seen before in a movie. It's when you see a script like that, is that something like, are you apprehensive about it being crazy? Are you thrilled that it's like something you've never seen before? What goes through your mind when you read some of the wacky shit that goes on?
Well, the first thing that goes through my mind, honestly, is I want to know who the filmmaker is, and I want to see what else he's done, or she, because I just want to make sure that the person I'm getting into business with is capable of pulling it off. Because the script is, it was pretty ambitious, for the budget and the time frame that they were talking about shooting it in, and so the first thing I did was I watched. They sent me. This was before his movie that came out just before Archenemy, Daniel Isn't Real. It was before it had even come out. So SpectreVision, the company that produced Archenemy and Daniel Isn't Real, sent me that movie. I watched it and was like blown away. If you guys haven't seen that movie, it's so good. Mm-hmm. And then, next step was, sitting down with Adam. This part of me was like, this is going to sound kind of fucked up, but I was almost a little like, if this guy wants me to play the main bad guy in his action movie, is there something wrong with this guy? Like, why does this guy think that's a good idea? And if he thinks that's a good idea, because I don't have a proven track record playing, actually menacing, like playing psychopath. Sure.
Yeah.
In a comedy, but like he's, ultimately, like, the character I have to play in Archenemy has to feel truly menacing. Like it has to be like this. He's the main bad guy. That's a lot of, responsibility. And Adam was just like, I can see it. I know you can do it. And
what does that say about you? Forget about him. It's like, I need someone who's like a bloodthirsty, maniacal, like evil man. Let me call him Glenn,
Well, yeah. And it's interesting. And then he also casts, Paul Scheer. to play another menacing psychopath in the movie. And I was like, oh, okay, this could go all kinds of wrong. But I knew for my own part, I mean, I knew I could play it. I was scared to play it, quite frankly, because I hadn't done anything quite that dramatic in a while. And I just wanted to do right by the movie. I wanted to do right by, look, I mean, it's a big starring role for Joe too. And I wanted to do right by Joe. Joe's done, a lot of action movies, and, he's like a 6'4", 200 pound, fucking beast. And, I'm this like 155 pound, wimp. I gotta bring it in the eyes and in the intensity in order to have people believe that he could, be a problem for Joe Manganiello.
Did you find yourself at all channeling any like Dennis Reynolds psychopath type of sociopath type of shit? Because you say like you haven't done it, but in some of Dennis's darker moments, when you see those things where they recut a comedy to look like a horror movie or whatever, you could really do that with some of Dennis's darker shit. So I feel like you're right on the edge there with some of your previous acting.
You're not wrong. No, you're not wrong. It's weird. It's like I've always really kind of studied and respected and liked those actors where the difference between their comedy and their drama is like one notch of the dial, or maybe two notches. Like Alec Baldwin. Like Alec Baldwin in a dramatic performance, you dial it up one tiny little notch, and it's a comedic performance.
Right.
I've always just kind of. That's always what I've striven for. So like straved.
It's shrewd actually. I struved for it.
So yeah, I mean with Dennis, I mean I always thought it would be funnier with Dennis if it wasn't funny. If it was really menacing and scary, but what he's saying is so ridiculous and so insane that you sort of have to laugh, because if not, you're like genuinely disturbed. So you're forcing people to laugh so that they're not disturbed.
Yes. Like if I don't laugh, I have to like cry and run. So I better just laugh about this. Yeah.
Yeah. And I knew that while the character needed to be scary in Archenemy, I also knew that it could be fun. I wanted it to be fun to watch and fun to play. So it was just kind of just tweak. Yeah, I think it's in some ways like kind of tweaking what I do on Sunny maybe a little bit to just make it a little more real.
We got a young guy here who's helping us out with social media, and he's focusing on TikTok because we're old and washed up, and TikTok is beyond us. And a lot of what we're not going to dance, so a lot of the only thing that we can contribute is where we kind of we mouth and lip sync to our favorite scenes. And we're working on the implication. There's a lot of back and forth that we got to nail the timing. But trying to even just lip sync the implication the right way is that was a special scene, Glenn. That was special.
Yeah, that was. I got to give Rob and Charlie full credit for that, because that was something. I was off like breaking another story with the writers and working on a different episode while the two of them were writing that episode. And I remember I came in one day to, I was like, how's it going, guys? And they were like, dude,
we got something.
They were like, we just wrote something for you. Like they were all proud. They were like, they just knew. They knew. Yeah. It's like they could feel it. They were like, we're onto something here. Like this is good. We just wrote something for you that is so fucked up. And I was like, ooh, let me look at it. And I read it and I was like, oh my God. I mean, this is so close to the line that I don't know. Like, also like, this is also really funny because I get what you're going for here. It was so
great. It's so good, man.
Is that nerve wracking? Because even like we're talking about like doing it on TikTok and they're not even our words, and we're still nervous, being like, oh shit, we're gonna like,
how's that gonna be?
Are they gonna think this is what I'm saying? Kind of deal. Is that like, are you like, I really need to nail this perfectly, otherwise it's bad.
100%. Yeah, 100%. I mean, it had to be very clear, and it was important to me that it was very clear to the audience that what Dennis was saying, because whether Dennis is a true psychopath or murderer or whatever, is a question that shouldn't ever really fully be answered. So, I wanted to make it as clear as possible that what he was saying was like, I'm never going to do any of the things. I'm never going to do any of the stuff. It's just that she doesn't know that. And that's what I'm taking advantage of. It's the fact that she does not know me well enough to know what I'm capable of. And see, you're laughing now because it's so horrible.
It's so horrible. It is preying upon, the deepest, darkest fears a girl can have, and we're laughing about it.
That's the other thing too that to me made it funny and made it sort of work is that Dennis isn't even saying that he's not even going to say he's not. There's no threat. There's no verbal threat. It's just the fact that we're out here in the ocean in the middle of nowhere is sort of enough to make you go,
The best. It's all time. It's all time. I mean, as we're talking through it here, I think I would have to declare that the best Dennis Reynolds moment ever. When you really, when you break it down to that level, there is so much to unpack there. It is special.
My personal favorite, I think, is still trying to sell the Range Rover in the water.
Yeah.
But it's an amphibious vehicle. Do you have more interest in going this route? Like I saw there are some reviews that were like Glenn Howerton is absolutely amazing in this film and he should be looked at more for the comic book villain angle. Is that something you're more interested in?
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, send me those reviews because I'd love to do that. That always feels good. Just hearing you say it just fills me with pride. But yeah. I mean, absolutely. I when I was in school, when I was growing up and sort of training to be an actor and heading out into the professional world, I always felt I was identified more as a character actor, but then I guess, certain people were like, well, you're kind of handsome. Like, what if you just play like the normal guy? And I was like, how do you fucking make that interesting? I'm just a guy. Like, that's not interesting. It took me a while to sort of figure out how to be the straight man, just be like a normal, So early in my acting career, my early 20s in college and stuff, I saw myself doing almost exclusively the kind of stuff that I did in Archenemy. More character stuff, more drama. So it's fun to kind of get back in touch with that younger actor in myself who always wanted to do shit like that and get to do it again. So yeah, I mean, that'd be blast. Playing bad guys is also just so fun. I mean, every actor says that and it's true. I mean, it just gives you so much to sink your teeth into and you get to act out certain things that you hopefully don't do in real life.
Get that out of your system.
But you really want to.
Yeah. Scratch that itch without going. What about movies versus TV? Do you have a preference there as far as the craft, if you will?
I've gotten so used to working in TV where there's almost no kind of rehearsal and everything moves super fast that I've sort of learned to just kind of come ready and just be ready to kind of let it fly and see what happens.
Right.
So I'm certainly more comfortable with that actually than in most films where you actually are you're going to rehearse and you're going to sit down with the director and talk about the character and all this kind of stuff. All that stuff I find a little intimidating. Mm-hmm. But I did all that with Archenemy. I actually worked way more on that than I have on most things and spent a lot of time talking to the director about it. I mean, a lot of time talking to the director about the character and filling in all the blanks and, but also with that, because I just wanted it to be convincing. I didn't want to go in there and pull from my old bag, from the same bag of tricks that I'm used to pulling from. I wanted it to feel like a real guy. Yeah, I mean, the process was different for me, and I think the process on most films is different insofar as you usually get a little more time to work on it. So, but there's fun in just being spontaneous. But if I'm going to transform and be a totally different human being, the time to kind of be able to work that out in a film is a little bit better.
Have you kept up with this HBO Max Warner Brothers studio news that broke this week, where all all their films, all Warner Brother films, will be available on HBO Max for anybody who subscribes. So it goes immediately to streaming, which Christopher Nolan and a handful of other directors and studios are, I guess, furious about. And I think it's a combination probably of money, but also, maybe the way they film a movie is intended to be on the big screen versus television. Do you have, if you put all this work into a movie and then you think about people just watching it on their 40-inch screen at home, does that bother you, or do you not care, or what's your thoughts on that?
I think it's like, sort of getting mad that you can see pictures on your cell phone. Like,
Right.
It does not, it's what's happening. Forget it.
It's like fighting the tides,
You're fighting. It's just not going to have there's no fighting it. And especially during, times like this when everybody's at home and they can't go to theaters, or they shouldn't go to theaters. What else are you going to do? And the thing that upsets me, honestly, and I've ranted about this before, but is the sort of motion smoothing settings that are on TVs these days that come preset, so that when you unbox your brand new flat screen TV and you mount it and you turn something on, it's automatically set to this motion smoothing thing, which is really, arguably intended, I guess, for like sports. You can really see every single detail, but it really makes films look terrible. It makes films and TV shows look really, really bad.
It's got like that soap opera look almost, right?
Yeah.
It just looks a little,
Yeah, totally. I would just urge all the companies that make televisions to just, if you're going to have that feature, okay, fine, but don't have that be, because a lot of people, I'll go over to somebody's house. If I go over to somebody's house and there's something on their TV and they've got motion smoothing on, I go, hey, I pull them aside and I'm like, this is wrong. And they're like, what are you even talking about? And I'm like, I don't care if you see it or not. I'm going to fix it.
Just give me a remote. Yeah.
I had no idea that was even a thing until I think it was when Mission Impossible 7 came out. And Tom Cruise did like a Twitter video where he's like,
yeah, that's right, he did.
Before, I forget what it was for. It must have been Mission Impossible. I feel like he was in Top Gun gear, but I think he was just on set of Top Gun.
So it's like, it's supposed to look like this, and here's how it looks.
He's like, it was like, and I was like, I'd never even heard of this thing. And I changed it right away because obviously Tom Cruise told me to. And it does make a difference. Like usually a lot of those things, I don't have the ear or the eye for it, but I think you do notice that with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people are they might register it sort of subconsciously when they first get their TV. They look at it and they're like, well, this looks a little weird. And then they just get used to it and they're like, yeah, whatever. And they don't even notice it, And then you turn it, like I turn it off. And there's certain friends of mine, and I'm not kidding when I say I do this at people's houses. Like, I've had some friends that are like, I don't notice the difference. And I'm like, that's fine. As long I notice the difference, that's okay with me. And then there's other friends of mine that are like, oh shit. Oh yeah, and I'm like, God damn it, these fucking why are they? So that I think is probably the most objectionable thing to watch. I mean, most people have pretty big TVs these days, and a lot of people have surround sound systems, or at least like a cool sound bar.
Right. But you know what? Even so, you make a Archenemy, it's gonna have these big action scenes, and sure, would it be better on the big screen with the surround sound in the theater? Yes, but you think about how many more people it's gonna reach on demand, or how many more homes or shared experiences you can have with your buddies, your family, your friends watching it. It's like, I think it all kind of comes out in the wash in one way or another, and I don't think it's worth getting too upset about.
Yeah, I mean, but to be fair, I also, to look at it from the standpoint of a filmmaker like Christopher Nolan, the way his movies are, I mean, they're very clearly meant to be seen. Like,
sure, he makes
something about
epic.
them that,
yeah,
just the way they're shot, the way they're lensed. It's just like to not even have the opportunity, or to give most people the opportunity to see it on the big screen.
Stuff.
I get it. It's in there. There's a sort of like a feeling of loss too, because like all those filmmakers, including myself, I mean, we all grew up. That's where I watched most movies, was in movie theaters. Even old movies, I would go to the classic movie theater and go see the classics in theaters, the way they were intended.
There's a few in New York right now that you can rent out for up to 20 people for like $99, which I think is like, I feel like I spend $100 when I go to the theater as is buying, you know? So like they're running Christmas movies. I think I'm going to grab, their mom and my kids and go, watch Elf for like $100 and have our theater to ourselves. It's kind of cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
We're going to hit you with a couple hypotheticals here before we let you go. You've played this before. Answer the internet. So we'll give you a couple here. Would you rather go 3 straight summers without drinking or live a full year in Antarctica?
3 straight summers or live a full year in Antarctica. I think I might enjoy living in Antarctica.
Yeah, the cold, the dark, like there's that, portion of the year where it's dark 24 hours a day. You like all that?
I was gonna say you're making good selling points right now. I'm like, yeah, I like that.
But all right. I feel like last time we spoke, are you a tequila guy? I feel like you enjoy a cocktail, right? You said you were drinking during quarantine. Imagine, a summer night. You want to have a cocktail during the sunset or at the beach. Nothing for 3 straight.
It's no good. No, it's no good. I'd rather look. I mean, if we're talking, John Carpenter's The Thing Antarctica experience, and obviously that's a big no. But if we're just talking about, being kind of sequestered out there in some decent barracks, with a couple bottles of vodka and a warm hat, I don't know.
Warm hat, yeah.
Like a bunch of movies and some catch up on all my shows and movies and all my.
Nice.
You're describing quarantine. We've lived in Antarctica for a year.
That is true.
Right? Like,
it's been all right. It's been all right.
If you could be the patron saint of something, what would it be?
I'm not even entirely certain I know what that means. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, no, it's not. We usually gotta have to clarify.
Like Saint Valentine is the patron saint of love.
Right. Fuck. I don't know.
I feel like, you know what? I feel like it's Glenn Howerton, the patron saint of like quarterly. Got to do something crazy. Every few months, you just got to do something a little fucking nuts.
The patron saint of mental breakdown.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna hit you with one more here.
Shaving all your hair off.
One more here. It's maybe this is more of a question for Dennis per se. It's dark. It's out there. If in order for you to live, you had to kill a child, a blind child who is the voice of a generation. Would you kill the kid or would you sacrifice yourself?
Oh, Jesus. I mean, wait, why is the kid blind and why is the
I don't know.
Because for some reason it matters.
That was the question.
Like it does make it worse.
He's blind. Yeah, you're even meaner. He's blind and he's got a voice like, it moves you to tears. It's either you or him, pal.
So the choice is like either he dies or I die, basically.
Yep.
And it's up to me and would anyone find out what I've done?
No, you get away scot-free.
Yeah, totally free. But it's on your conscience, but you're good. Nobody knows.
Okay, so it's on my conscience, but that's it, huh?
Yeah.
I think I'd off myself.
I was hoping for something else.
There was a big build-up. I'd strangle him to death with my bare hands. All right, man. I love it. Thanks so much for the time. Archenemy is the movie. It's out December 11th.
Right? Yep.
So go check it out. Glenn and Joe chopping it up in this baby supernatural, alien, sci-fi, superhero. It's wild. It's a wild trip, man. So go check it out. And thanks so much for the time, as always.
Thanks, Glenn.
Yeah. Yes, thanks, man.
Have a good one. That haircut moment's a great one. That reaction. I mean, what a moment when people could react to your look that way in a good way.
Yeah.
Like, to get a whoa, like a visceral reaction from people, and they're like, yeah.
Yeah, I almost went
did
and cut
that.
my haircut the same
I know.
way. Just
because I'm trying to be like people in Hollywood. All right, time for Joe Manganiello. Talk about a guy we want to be like. I want to look like Joe. I want to marry a girl like Joe. I want to play the cool games that Joe plays. I want to be versatile like Joe. I want to be able to act like Joe. All of it. I mean, Joe is all that is man.
Yeah.
Joe Manganiello. Let's talk to him.
What's up, bud?
What's up?
You look menacing with the shaved head. Yeah. Yeah, that's some scary shit, man, with the skull in the background and shit. You are, there's like nice guy Joe, and then there's like, oh, don't fuck with Joe.
And then there's Chihuahua on the lap,
Yeah.
sleeping Joe.
Yeah. Yep. And then there's
Which if people.
then there's take the Instagram pictures for your wife, Joe. You wear many hats,
Yeah. I have a Chihuahua sleeping very heavily on my arm right now. So, but if people if they just saw this,
Right.
Yeah.
Pan down, and they'd be like, "Aw, he's a sweetheart." Yeah.
See, I'm telling you, that's the formula.
Yeah. We were just watching some of the trailer of the new movie Archenemy, and it's wild. It's a wild ride. Homeless, superhero, drug kingpin, getting mixed up with the whole nine. It's a very cool storyline.
Yes, very much. I had a meth coach for the film actually. So I do my character. He does some methamphetamines.
Okay.
And so
I thought you were like that was like acting lingo, like you were like
method actor.
Acting. Yeah.
No, it's methamphetamine.
No, you meant meth.
Yeah, people are like, what did you do for your workout routine for this? And I'm like, meth.
Crystal. Did that crystal, man. So what did he teach you? What does a meth head teach you about meth?
Well, I mean, there was a lot of coaching, and we took a look at the script and how much meth am I doing, and then that informed the scenes afterwards because I'm doing meth. But then it's like I'm driving around in the car trying to come down, So then that it just influences the rest of the film. All of a sudden I start mapping out. Well, okay, so he's just been up for 3 days at this point. Oh, okay, well, I'll play it like that. And then he came to set and I had him behind the monitor during one kind of the most notorious meth scene in the movie. And he was behind the monitor and I'd kind of, perform the scene and then look over and he'd, or come over to me and be like, we'd huddle up and he's like, okay.
And is this guy in the business, or is he, does the production company bring him to set? Is this someone you found? How do you find this connection?
He's a comedian. He's a friend of mine. This great comedian named Greg Baldwin, and he's been sober a long time.
Yeah.
But he still, he knows. He put in his 10,000 hours as Malcolm Gladwell.
Listen, I'm an expert still. It's like Jordan doesn't play anymore, but he knows basketball.
That's it. It's the sweet science, baby.
Not to say that you've ever dabbled in methamphetamine, but do you like to party, Joe? Did you have a phase where you were partying?
You like to party? Hey,
you want to get nuts?
You kids want some ice cream? Come on.
I mean, I've always thought that.
What are you doing after this interview, Joe? What are you doing?
Meth.
Want to party?
The jump to meth, or some of the hard stuff is, I just don't get how it happens sometimes. I mean, it's like, it's like some drugs make sense, and then there's you got to cook this up, and it might blow up in the production process. But yeah, I'll also do it.
I get it.
You get it.
I think the only reason I've never done meth is no one offered it. That's the only thing preventing me from trying meth. Is that
I think I'd be scared. If someone put meth down right on the table right now, I'd be too scared to do it.
I mean, I'd be scared, but again,
you only live once.
If I had a few beers and someone was like, "Do you want to do meth?" I have it. I'd be like, "All right, fine. Let's give it a try."
You get it. Yeah. You totally get it. No, the thing about the film, and I'm not giving any too much away here, but the character believes that he was from a different dimension.
Right.
So he's kind of like this schizophrenic, homeless meth addict, and you don't know what he believes or doesn't, or what's the story, or and he believes that in methamphetamine there is a trace element of the source of his powers in this other dimension, which makes total sense.
As far as coping mechanisms and lying to yourself, that's a great one. I gotta drink this or smoke this or do this because it might make me a superhero.
Which it does.
Totally.
Yeah, it technically does.
I don't even think it's I don't even think it's up for question.
Listen, you have a few
I think
more
everyone
beers.
on meth thinks that.
Well, but everything,
If your superpower is cleaning your house for 18 hours straight.
Then you're the greatest to ever do it. But I mean, if I have a few beers, all of a sudden you're a little looser, you're dancing, you're better at sex, you can fight, you kind of become a superhero.
Yeah, you do meth and you become Superman. Really what it is it's just this crazy sweaty guy in his Superman underoos dancing around in a hotel room by himself.
Yeah.
So there is no supernatural superhero element. It's just a crazy homeless man.
Well, that's you're not. There's also hallucinations, or are they memories? Like there's the storytelling is such where you're not sure what's up and what's down, and the character really isn't sure what's a memory, what isn't. Is this some sort of hallucination? Like, is he? I mean, because you get to the point where no matter who you were, whether it's the drugs or whether you're actually from a different dimension, at some point you're not going to believe.
Right.
You're not going to understand what was the past and what wasn't, and what you've cooked up or what you haven't. And that's the journey of the character and of the viewer watching that.
And do you realize, Joseph, that they're casting this movie and they're like, we need to pick a person who's just so ridiculous that he might be human or he might be a superhero, and they go with you. Like, we need the guy who looks the part, can beat, like, it can be believable that he can beat everybody up and that he's bigger than everyone and shredded. We'll go with Joe.
Well, there's also the side of that conversation that you didn't mention, which is he lives in a tent under a bridge. He looks like he's homeless and he's a complete drunk.
So which is it, Again, you wear many hats.
I just say I think that makes it even more impressive.
Yeah, you're pretty cool then, yeah.
You're the
You
only
can do both.
intersection of that Venn diagram. Where it's like,
I love it.
Yeah, like some fit all of that. I mean, okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, sure. That's flattering.
Do you believe in, because we've talked in the past when we've done interviews, we've done the Dungeons and Dragons talk, and we've done, I guess that stuff is more far-fetched, but like the supernatural, do you believe in that?
I mean, do I believe in the supernatural? Like, what are you talking about? Like Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster? Or are we talking about like...
yeah, there's there's different levels to it.
I think... man, I mean, okay, so we're getting deep now.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I think there is such a thing as synchronicity. I think certain people are more sensitive to things than others.
Okay.
Do I think you're dead in your mulch but maybe they're I think that it's been shown by data that like when whole cities meditate, the crime levels go down. Like, I think there are things that we can't explain.
Right.
I do believe in those types of things. I think there's an energy like the force that flows through things. And then you can tap into it or be the right place at the right time, or, coincidences can happen that are so crazy that there's no possible way that could have been random. I do believe in all of those things.
But Bigfoot and Loch Ness, no.
No, not so much. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
I wish. I think when I was a kid, I really wanted to believe.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just, I was going to say, like, what changed your mind? It's
Adult maturity.
Yeah.
I developed a brain.
I got hair on my balls.
What about aliens? Where do you fall on that?
I knew this guy who used to book autograph signings for astronauts and everyone else who had ever been to space in history. And he's spoken to all of those people and asked every single one of them, do you think that there's life out there? And they all say, yes, we believe that in the infinity of space, there has to be life somewhere. But none of them believe that they've been to Earth. So take that. I'm sorry to pop the bubble for all the conspiracy theorists, but everyone who's been to space believes that nobody's been here.
Well, I forget what philosopher or whatever has like the quote where it's like, either we're alone in the world or we're not. Both answers are equally terrifying. I was like, that's a pretty good point.
That is a great point. What's worse, that we're just this one speck, nothing else out there? It starts to break my brain a little bit.
The other one is really interesting. If there's no one out there but us,
nothing.
That's
why? Why would that be? My argument is always it's much more logical that in an ever expanding universe there has to be something else. But if not, it's like, well, what the fuck? Why not?
Well, then we're the ones who that really puts the onus on us. Like we need to go down to Hawthorne and start talking to Elon Musk. Like it's our duty.
We gotta
need
go.
to get out there.
We gotta, or not though, or not. It's like if you're just in a giant parking lot and you were told there's nothing on the other side of it, like why even go then? You know. Like if we could,
I think this is a philosophical question.
Yeah,
Yes.
if we could confirm somehow there is absolutely no other life, would you just shut down space travel? And I guess you could still find resources and elements or something, but like, what's really the big search then? What are you gonna find?
Dude, I'm just still stuck on like Popeyes or Chick-fil-A. Like who wins?
That's an interesting question.
Oh yeah.
So
we could probably talk more about that.
yeah, let's get into the real shit here.
I had a Popeyes for the first time fairly recently. Let's call it 3 to 6 months ago. And I don't think we made a big enough deal about it.
I mean, it was
like
sold out. There were lines around the corner.
It was a humongous deal. It was the only thing the internet talked about. And I still was like, this is underrated.
It's very, very good. Where do you fall, Chick-fil-A or Popeyes?
Man, I love Chick-fil-A, man. I love Polynesian sauce.
Mm-hmm.
But every time I have Popeyes, I'm like, God damn, this is so good.
It's got that bite to it. And
It's
really crispy, you know.
About the special herbs and spices,
Yeah.
man.
But there is a big difference. I think it's almost cheating to not have the spice come from the chicken. All the spice is in the sauce.
Yeah. But also, I don't know if you got the sauce, and I don't care. As long as it's in my mouth and my belly. You know, like yeah, okay, if you wanted to compare the chicken, that's one thing. We're comparing the sandwiches.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, but I think there's something to be said about making the patty itself spicy.
The chicken, yeah. How about this? Jeff, a guy we work with, we had this argument after hours a couple weeks ago after Friday Night Pints. He was like, you can't compare the two. They're two different. It's like,
the two spicy chicken sandwiches.
they're like the most comparable things that have ever come out of fast food. It's like,
And you got listen, don't give me that.
yeah,
Like,
give me a
make
fucking
it-
answer. Yeah, no cop out.
Pat's or Geno's. Don't screw around. Let's
Right.
go, you know?
I actually respect that, being like, oh, they're two different. I couldn't possibly.
He made it sound so like we were idiots, and he was like at a higher level, like his palate.
And like,
can-
I honestly, I believe it. Sitting here
Yeah.
right now, I'm like, he's too good at
Maybe.
fast food.
Maybe.
No, that's like some chicken politician shit. Like, I ain't got time.
Right. Do you sound like you know your way around a fast food sandwich, but also, you know, your physique is such that I would imagine you got to watch what you eat. Are you a cheat day guy? Are you a big diet guy? What does Joe eat?
Well, look, man, I mean, here's the thing. I'm also an actor. So, you know, I'm not like,
I love, by the way, you've been doing the twirl on the mustache the whole
Yeah.
time. I love it. You're getting into it, right? Yeah. You got to get the wax out and everything. Yep.
Yeah, well, there's that. Then there's also this,
Pulling the
which
beard.
is like,
yeah.
I get it. Like, I get like the philosophers or,
Uh-huh.
you know, like I understand what that's all about.
If you say something even remotely profound while you go like this, it makes it 10 times more smart, you know?
Like if I still played competitive hoops, I would totally be the dude who was like at the free throw line, like, you know, get the ball, 1, 2, 3, dribble, and then go. Like this would be a component, or it'd be like this, and then go.
But you were saying, so you're an actor, so
Yeah, man. So, you know, it's like, what did I do to train for Archenemy? Like, you know, meth, like nothing, you know. That's the thing. The training is like all of the character study. So, you know what I mean? That's not what this role's about. You know, if you're playing Big Dick Richie and Magic Mike 2, yeah, that's what training is training, you know? So there's no, you know, we were in Savannah, there's no Paula Deen fried chicken and pot pies. Like that's not happening.
right.
You know, you're not going and eating at all those amazing Southern restaurants. You know, it's me and Kevin Nash at Ruth's Chris. And they're like, sir, can I take your order? I'm like, yeah, I'll have the porterhouse for 2 with the baked potato, you know, or the broccoli. And then she walks away. And Kevin's like, no. That's for him. I'm going to have a porterhouse for 2, you know? So, but I mean, I'm also somebody that like my metabolism's so crazy that my body wants to like lean up. So I have to eat everything in sight. You know, I was one of the guys in high school that like, you know, when you're playing sports, you're playing football, you're trying to put the weight on. I'm eating a pint of ice cream at night, in addition to, weight gainer powders and all that kind of stuff. So I'm the kind that has to I've got to keep feeding I got to keep eating, or else I will just lean out, which actually is good for something like Archenemy.
Right.
Yeah, I can lean out and look like a guy who's not Superman anymore. He's not supernatural. He's a dude. So yeah, man,
what's your death row meal? Dead man walking, last meal before you hit the chair. What are you eating?
Man, I mean, I would have to say the Primanti Brothers sandwich in Pittsburgh. I'd probably try to break my record, which is 3.5. So I'd be like, give me 4. I'm going to go cheesesteak, Genoa salami, probably 2 cheesesteaks, 2 Genoa salamis. Then I want the Red Devil hot sauce. I want that bottle and like a Coke.
Yeah. Bro,
and maybe a Primanti Brothers pizza.
3.5. You've done 3.5 of those sandwiches?
When I was in training, man, I was like, it was sabotage. I went up to 250 and went to Pittsburgh and was like, let's see. I was powerlifting, MMA fighting, and so I was just crazy, and I went and put down 3.5.
Dude, I think I can eat. I'm an eater. I think I couldn't finish one.
I mean, yeah, those are heavy.
I've only been once. I don't think I finished one.
3.5.
Bro,
Manganiello. You're a savage,
so
dude.
Obscene.
I got to tell you something though. So I've told this story before, but I took Sophia back to Primanti's because they had just painted my face on the wall. So I took her, I'm like, we got to go, you know, for a guy, this is like
a pinnacle.
This is like a Pittsburgh Oscar. We got to go. I said, but I'm going to warn you, you have to eat the sandwich. You can't take a bite and then put it down. You can't do it because Hillary Clinton had just been through the year before on her campaign trail and went to go take the pose.
Right.
Hey, and then she just went and then put it down and didn't eat it. And it was
do that.
And even when Pennsylvania turned red, for the first time in a while, a lot of the talk in Pittsburgh was because Hillary didn't eat the sandwich.
And you know what? They might be right.
So I told Sophia, I said, you have to eat the sandwich. You order the sandwich. You got to eat the sandwich. This is my reputation. This is your reputation. This is a big deal.
And is she the type can she eat? Would she like something like that, or is she gonna have to choke down? Is that not her jam?
Oh yeah, no, she can eat, but if she doesn't like something, she doesn't like something.
I would imagine. Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, you're committed. Yeah. And so we went in, and she ordered the turkey, which I was like, wait, they have a turkey? They put turkey on it? I was like, unbeknownst to me, so she gets the turkey, does the hot, takes a bite, looks at it, and then boom, again, and just wolf the thing down. And I was like, yes,
that's my woman.
I love you. That was fantastic.
Yeah, honestly, those are the moments that are like, yep, that's my woman. I chose right. That was the best decision of my life, More so than she comes out looking beautiful or anything else. She wolfs down a sandwich like that. It's like, that's my girl.
That is actually very accurate.
Right?
You can be attracted to someone all the time. But when you see someone do something like that, you're like,
that's my heart.
Right.
That's my girl.
It's Indiana Jones, and he's in the village, and they're handing Willie Scott this bowl full of mush, and he's like, "You were insulting me, and you were insulting them.
Yep.
Eat the eyeball soup.
Yep.
Eat the snake surprise. Eat the bowl of mush."
Yep.
And it's one of those where it's like a cultural thing where you're like,
"Yep.
Okay, we're good. All right. We're good.
You hold your breath for a second there, right? All right, we're gonna run through some hypothetical questions for you. We got the answer to the internet here, so we're gonna break them out. These are some of the deepest, darkest questions from all corners of the internet.
Sorry about that.
We just talked about meth for about 10 minutes, so I'm excited to see where we go from here.
Let's see. All right. Well, keeping in the food theme here, If both your arms were gone and you could have 2 kitchen utensils as arms, what would they be?
Oh God. Like the roast beef cutter that's electric. It's like serrated.
Yep. Okay.
Like I'd have one of those, and the other arm kitchen utensil. It'd be kind of dope is to have the the ninja blender. You know what I mean? So I could just like come up to people and be like, I could punch them and it would just be like, like through up their face, like,
No, you just want to murder people.
I was going to say, you want to eradicate faces. I was sitting here thinking like, well,
I'd be a big fucking knife.
I thought, well, what if I want to have some soup? I want a spoon. It's like, I want to rip your face apart with the ninja blender.
It's like, I'm doing the same Raimi. I'm clearly in the same Raimi version.
Yeah. If you could play one video game for the rest of your life, what would it be? One game and one game only.
Oh man. If they did like the new, like if they redid like PlayStation 5, like super expansive online Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
I feel like everyone's answer is GTA.
Dude, it's just so
GTA, but I
around.
love the Vice City. So if they modernized the Vice City and gave it the like Grand Theft Auto 5 treatment, probably that or like Red Dead. I think Red Dead.
Dude, Red Dead. Okay, so I've never been much of a video game person. The only game I ever really, really loved was Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Where like as a kid, I never did much Sonic and Mario. I had the systems, but it wasn't a huge thing. And then the period when Grand Theft Auto was out, like on like PS2, I think it was, I was severely addicted to video games. But then I kind of fell off it, and I recently bought an Xbox, and I forget why. It was just like Tim Riggins was in a commercial, I think, Taylor Kitsch. I was like, sold. But I got Red Dead Redemption. That game is impossible. I'm just so bad at video games now, I guess. Like,
it passes you by. If you don't use it, you lose it, man.
I couldn't get past. I think like one of the opening missions is like open this door, and I just couldn't do it. I forget exactly what it is, but you're at it's snowing, and you're like someone's in the bathroom. I forget what it is, but like that's like one of the opening missions, and I played that for like 6 hours and just couldn't beat it.
I grabbed Nintendo Switch, and I loved Zelda. Zelda on Nintendo 64 was like the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. And I'm trying to play the new one on the Switch, and I was like, I fucking suck at this game, man. I suck at it now.
I know. What happened to us?
Yeah, I mean, it honestly is almost like sports, where it's like you get out of shape. You can also get out of video game shape, where you just like suck at these things, you know?
But you can't pop an Achilles.
That is true. I'm not going to have to get surgery from trying to get back in the video game world.
If every time you finished sex, a song played, what song would you want?
Oh my God. What's okay? I'm just going with the first thing that popped in my mind, which is bizarre. But do you remember? Okay, so here it is. I don't know. We're going to dissect this one, but you remember in Billy Madison?
I love where this is going already. No matter what you say next, it's going to be ridiculous. Go ahead.
When he's on the stairway and like Culture Club comes on, it's like
yes. Wow.
That's a great answer. That was like when I was a kid, I saw that scene. That was like the happiest I've ever been. That's a perfect answer for how.
But like it's like picture like all of a sudden it's like the way a musical would happen. Like you're just laying on the pillow, arms behind you, and then all of a sudden your eyes open.
I'll tumble for you.
I'll
tumble for you. I'm pulling it up right here, right now. I mean, it's the happiest like anybody's ever been. It's so good. Hang on, it's coming here. Oh, the 5-minute scene. Come on, YouTube, you're killing me. There's just something so happy about the way he's like, if that's how you really are after sex, Joe, that must have been a good session. You know what I mean?
There it is.
I'll tumble for ya. I love it. How good is that? All right, we'll do one more question here. Where'd it go? I feel like you're a movie guy. Who is your all-time favorite movie villain?
I mean, it has to be Darth Vader.
Yeah, I mean he's on the card.
Has to be.
That's the illustration there. I mean,
It has to be. He's the great. It's the great. That's like
it's the GOAT.
the greatest when villains were scary
Mm-hmm.
and movies weren't afraid to scare you with,
The
like
first
he was
time-
so.
The first time I heard that stat that he's only on the screen for like 7 minutes or something like that in the first movie, it's like, oh,
Really?
shit. Yeah, it's like a staggeringly low amount for how important he is, but it's like he made every single second last. Yeah,
Well,
that's a good answer.
And rest in peace, David Prowse, who just passed away this week,
Yeah.
who was he was inside of the suit and doesn't get enough credit.
Doesn't.
Because I think it's he gets overwhelmed by James Earl Jones voicing the character, but like him inside the suit,
The
I can't
walk.
tell you how many times I've watched Empire and I've just put it on mute just to watch how he moves and his hands and the way that the mask moves, and he was brilliant. And they've tried to copy it in other movies. Vader's shown up and it has not been the same because the person inside the suit isn't as good of a movement actor as David Prowse was.
Well, nobody better than you, babe. We appreciate the time as always. Archenemy is the movie, December 11th, and it seems like a wild ride, man. So as always, good on you, and thanks for the time.
Thanks, man.
Go do some meth. Hey, there he is. I love it.
Thanks, Joe.
Have a good one.
See you guys
Bye.
later.
I'm going to hit you with a little YouTube sabermetrics, okay? Only 15% of people who watch the videos on the KFC radio channel are actually subscribed. That means,
Oh, you fucking lurkers. I'm
right?
tired. Yeah, I'm
Free
tired of
85%
lurkers.
freeloaders.
Retweet, like, fucking heart on Instagram.
Rate, review, subscribe.
If you enjoy content, double tap it.
Literally,
Double tap to subscribe.
just click. It doesn't, I think you only have to click it once, not even double.
Well, okay,
just
fine.
one click.
But I'm not a mathematician. Just a one click works.
Because
if that's what it
I
is.
don't want, if you double click, you might subscribe and then unsubscribe.
Oh, true.
So just one
well, then
click.
3 clicks.
3 clicks to subscribe, because otherwise, I mean, it literally doesn't affect you at all, and it will basically make our careers so much better.
Oh,
Please
so much
fucking
better.
do it.
Oh, you'll get us so good.
Please.
You'll get us going
Come
so
on.
good. 85% of you. Triple
Don't
like.
be poor.
Triple time. The thing. The subscribe thing.
Smash that button, as they say.